Stuff, 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 stuff. Stuff, stuff, stuff. Stuff, 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 stuff. Stuff.
Yep, that's going in the reel for sure.
Fucking nerds.
Yes, we are.
So hey, welcome to Staffcast, where it's basically just going to be myself and Jake over here talking absolute shite. I'm Graham, and today we are going to be talking about DC Rebirth, where we think it's fucked up, where we think it's going to go, the good things it's done, mostly where it's fucked up.
Yeah, mostly where it's fucked up.
Recently, anyways, it had such a strong fucking start. That's the problem.
That's a fucked up thing. Yeah.
So like the first order of business would be kind of like the Rick Grayson amnesia arc. Like, where do you like?
Yeah, it's interesting, but it's also one of those things where it's like when like it was first explained to me, like, oh, he's gonna have amnesia and have a different personality. I'm kind of like, it's a bit, really? Amnesia again? Why was everything amnesia? But at the same time, like, you can't really knock them for it because like it's an easy one to explain to someone as a plot device. I thought it was interesting in terms of what if Dick was a little more Jason?
Yeah, I mean,
but at the same time, it's kind of like, could you make it a little bit more interesting than just he's like his brother?
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem that a lot of people even kind of have with the Robins that kind of cater to the whole, there's more than one kind of scenario to the newcomer, is that they all kind of, they're fairly uniform.
Yeah, they are, for the most part. Like, to be fair, like, you can't really, like, even brush into that shit without going for the fact that Jason Todd was literally just a reskin
for Dick Grayson.
Like, you know, like,
they made it a whole weird thing with Bruce Wayne just being like, you gotta look like my other son.
Yeah, like,
you gotta dye your hair black. But I'm a ginger boy. You gotta dye your hair black, Jason.
Like, that's either a thing where it's just like there was some deep psychological separation issues, or he was actually just like, no, I don't like gingers. But to be fair, either way, he's still a weirdo.
I think judging by the adaptation of Killing Joke animation, he likes gingers a little too much.
He likes little gingers a little bit too much, to be fair. Jesus.
Actually, you know what? No, it's separation anxiety.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, my son was once in this.
Oh god.
Now you're never going to be able to get that image out of your head, but hey, thank DC Animation.
Yeah, that's just like, alright, when I first saw it for the first time, I was just like, what the...
I went to actually see that in cinema with like two friends, and like I was on the way there, and one of my mates was kind of like, he didn't want to spoil it, but he was kind of like, I don't think you're gonna like it. What? Why? I just heard something really, really weird. I don't think you're gonna like it. Okay, what is it? But it's also gonna spoil the movie. But I've already read the book. No, Graham, you're not gonna like it. I'm just like, okay, give me a hint. We'll meet in the middle here. Give me a hint. Well, Bruce Timm's really happy, and it didn't dawn on me. It's like we were like,
that's pretty fucking fair, actually.
It's like we were like the three of us were just rolling up to the Lighthouse Cinema, and all of a sudden it dawned on me that Bruce and Babs totally had a thing in like the new Batman Adventures. When,
when it was like they decided to make him beige for half the episodes for no reason.
Yeah, but then like it just dawned on me, and I was just like, I stopped for a minute. Oh god. It's like, for those of you who don't know us really, I'm basically a major Dick and Babs shipper, so like it's kind of weird for like the father figure to be like...
To nail the door. To be fair, there's some people that are into that weird incest porn who are pretty fucking happy as well, so like, you know, that's not making the cut, but however.
Is something you want to tell us?
I don't watch it. I don't watch it. I just want to.
You have it on the background. Hey man, an orgasm's an orgasm.
Hey. This is going to be the shit that's like the Staffcast after dark. So like, I hope you enjoyed that one because it's never making an episode.
Jake, I don't have Adobe anymore. I'm probably not going to edit any of this out.
Fuck it. Here, screw it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Well, there goes our monetization rights. Already.
We're rebels.
From episode 1. But back
follow
to
our Patreon.
back to the whole like
the
Rick Grayson Nightwing arc. I actually kind of dig it, to be honest with you, because like, it's basically just taking a bunch of my favourite movies and then just like applying it into Nightwing as well, who's like my favourite fictional character of all time, in case you didn't notice.
It's not obvious. To be fair.
So they basically took Taxi Driver and then, you know, they just like they took Taxi Driver and then like stuck it in a blender with a bunch of comics and History of Violence specifically, and then just like
a little bit of American History X just on the physical shit.
Yeah, oh yeah, because he has like the fucking
the skinhead, like the skinhead, but also like the way he kind of like gets down to business in terms of fighting. Like it is very much like a. I was surprised that I didn't see a single curb stomp in an issue of the Grayson series, because like I was kind of like,
I mean, it's pretty close. I mean, there is this one part where it's like part of the muscle memory arc.
Yeah.
Like which is like a sub arc within the whole overarching story.
There's a lot of arcs.
Oh yeah, more than I thought there would be, to be honest. But basically, he's like looking at an antique shop. I think like a bracelet or something in the window reminds him of something that his mother wore or something like that. And he's kind of like talking about how he still remembers his mother and shit. Why can't he remember anything else? But he's also kind of not really bothered that he can't really remember anything else.
It's kind of like one of those things of you can't like you couldn't remember like your second year Irish teacher's name. It's like it's one of those things of it'll annoy you for a while, but then you just go, oh, I don't give a shit. Like who cares? Like
so
but then again, that's like a whole portion of your life from the age of 14 to like 20 something. Like god damn.
But then this guy, like this mugger, comes up to him and tries to like take a shit.
I remember that.
And it's like you don't even see him kick his teeth in.
Yeah.
But it just kind of like cuts, and your man is on the ground, and like Rick is just there, like, huh.
I could do that.
Well, alright, I found out I could speak German the other day, but this is new.
To be fair, could you imagine that just out of nowhere, just like, if like one day you're like, I don't remember half my life, but yet you're able to beat fully grown men to a pulp and you know 6 languages out of nowhere. It's like, well, this is interesting.
Now I can beat you up in 6 different languages.
That it would actually be more, one thing that would have been really interesting would be at first if he thought he was a native German speaker.
I mean, his head is shaved.
No, but what I mean is just in terms of like, if he was like, what? Like, just like, as in terms of even his internal monologue was in it, and then one day had to be told, you're American. It's like, oh, yeah, shit, forgot that.
They were going to try and, like, there was, like, rumours that they were going to try and make him blonde during Agent Grayson stuff as well. So can you imagine how bad that would have landed?
Oh, God, like...
It'd be, like, Aryan, like, blue eyes, blonde hair, and buzz cut.
So me in my teenage years.
Yeah, but like with instead of that symbol we're not allowed to say, but like you know, but like Nightwing.
Yeah. So pretty much the only way they could have made the comparisons between that thing we're not going to talk about and the New Order more prevalent is by giving them a shaved buzz cut.
But see, the thing about New Order, which I was going to go into next week, but sure, we're on the topic now.
Here they connect. We're doing a job. We're on the job, lads.
Yeah. But like, the thing about New Order is it's very like it feels like even the covers look very communist propaganda.
Yeah, they look very. There is like I think it's like the first issue of it. There's one of it's like the white and the red, and it's like going up into the opposite corner, and like a bunch of his followers and him sort of stand there, and I was like. That's 100% I've seen like a poster of like Stalin or something, and it was like that exact framing and just like a colour switch from rather than yellow and red to like white, blue and red I think it was, because like America.
Like when the solicitations for that issue actually came out, the one thing just running through my head, just like it was the same person actually went to Killing Joke with sent it to me. And all I could think was, Like,
I was just thinking, like, 100%, like, I was, like, I think when I first saw it, I think it was, like, around the time I was there first playing Rainbow, so all those memes of, like, the Soviet National Anthem were coming into my head. And then, from just playing it, and then, like, I saw the issue and went, Jesus Christ, can I not get away from that? Because all that was going through my head was, But, jeez.
I kind of like how... through the Rick arc, like there's this really cool detective character. His name is Espinosa, and he's like heavily inspired by Nightwing, being the fact that he'd been living in Bloodhaven even before Nightwing had left in terms of New 52.
Yeah, which was what?
Yeah, but he majorly looked up to him. So when Nightwing all of a sudden sort of goes missing and then finds his like burnt out Nightwing bunker, he's kind of like, I'm gonna be Nightwing. Screw it.
Yeah, like that was one of those real. If things were lined up slightly differently in terms of chronologically, I would say like that's where like the Dark Knight got the inspiration for like the Dark Knight Rises, where it's like the inspiration for like my name's Robin, I'm gonna take over. It's like
he actually looks a bit like...
Yeah, he does, to be fair. Like that's the thing, like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I'm always looking at him going, really? Like I just can't not see it. But it's also
like
those things.
Espinosa actually looks a lot like
yeah,
him.
like that's what I mean. Like it's just like one of those things of like when I was seeing pictures and I opened it for the first time and I saw him and I was like, they really just want this to be in the comics straight up. They just want Joseph Gordon-Levitt Batman or like Robin.
Give Joseph Gordon-Levitt a tan.
To be fair, but he could be like. To be fair, if you made him look shorter, like with like the sort of the way the trick photographers say, like Lord of the Rings, you could make him look like a little bit like Damien if he was a little bit more tan, because he is like that's like the most one where I think it's a push.
Yeah. I mean,
whereas the rest of them, you could look and go, shit, he could actually do all three. Like he could do the rest of them.
There is a major thing within. Like within DC at the moment, people are kind of like sick of Damien being whitewashed, but actually kind of like in Super Sons, they actually sort of do him. It's probably a little out of focus, a little bit more tan these days.
Yeah, since he is like...
Even like, I don't know if it's in this volume, but during the arc when like Damien's basically trying to teach John how to fly from like the time when he had powers himself, he's like... He's like straight up tan.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, which I think is cool. Like, I think it's one of those things where...
He's from the Middle East, for fuck's
yeah,
sake.
yeah, it's one of those things where I think it's one of those things where it's like, rather than being like, oh, I'm ABCD, this is my personality, my character. I like when it's a thing of it informs choices about their character rather than because like there's some characters that you know for a fact that are target audience kind of things. Like when I know like we're going like it's slightly off, but it's the same point. Like Ironheart for like the replacement to Tony Stark in the Marvel comics. For some reason, people hate her out like at first. And I think a lot of people are going like, is this like a target audience thing? Whereas like Miles Morales is loved, even though you could say the same thing.
I mean, it's Brian Michael Bendis, so of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Well, like, but yeah, you know what I mean. Like, I think it's one of those things where it's like, if you make it a thing where it's part of a character's personality and it informs choices of their personality, rather than if we were to go with say like Damien, it'd be like, oh, well, like to be fair, it always changes. But like, say if it's like Middle Eastern, it's like rather than being like a thing of suddenly in this one to be more Middle Eastern looking, he's got facial hair of 14.
Yeah.
Just being like, hey, like these certain things that I have gone through, like because of where I'm from, have informed I'm a bit of this and I'm a bit of that. Like that's like saying, I know like anyone who watches this and knows me, it's like saying, oh, Jake has to be an alcoholic because he's Irish. I am an alcoholic and I am Irish.
It's not because he's Irish.
Exactly, because he's Irish and he's not an alcoholic, doesn't drink. So like it's like exactly like that. It's like saying like, oh, if someone is from Dublin and they're gay, they have to constantly go to the George and they have to act a certain way. It's like, no, they could be hard nut, they could be whatever. It's just when you're writing a character, make a character, not a census information. That's what I'm on about.
Yeah, because like, that's kind of one thing I was worried about with Bendis taking over Superman,
exactly.
with John being in it, because like, he has this awful habit of just making characters speak millennial or like speak Gen Z. He makes them speak a certain way, like when he,
which isn't bad all the time, but like when you're trying to force it, it's like none of us are stupid. We can tell what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, see the thing about him when he was writing Ultimate Spider-Man, which is one of my favorite stories of all time, like hands down.
Brilliant.
It's like it's probably my favorite version of Spider-Man, to be honest with you.
Like I always enjoyed it because it was one of those things as well where obviously everyone loves Miles now and everything else, which I do enjoy.
Oh yeah, Miles is class.
Well, Miles is just a great character.
A great character with a terrible origin.
A terrible origin, but one thing that I can say towards that origin, it gave us an excuse to have childish Gambino in a Spider-Man film, so I'm like, hell yeah!
I'm okay with that.
Like, write a song for it next time and I'm very, very happy.
Oh god, can you imagine like Prowler being at a club, but like, it's a Gambino
It's
song.
a Gambino song. Like, to be fair, I love that they did like a thing like the old, like the Lindsay Lohan Parent Trap, where it's like there's two different lightings, but it's like clearly the same dude, and it's just like him in the background, like, yeah, I'm the Prowler, and then it's like up on stage wearing slightly different clothes, going, I'm childish. It's like, motherfucker, you're not even trying at this point.
He established it into Childish and himself have a different face.
Yes, it is very true.
It's very subtle, but it's
very subtle, because Childish does make me smile.
The thing about Bendis is he knows how to make the characters in Ultimate Spider-Man
Yeah.
talk. Like he knows how
Like
Peter
humans.
talks. He knows how Peter talks, and he knows how Gwen talks in that version of Gwen, because she was a punk in that version.
Yeah, it's very cool.
She wasn't very kind of like goody two shoes, and she wasn't like a fashionista, like.
Or she wasn't
you
like
know.
the damsel in distress, so like the
Exactly.
that like the amazing Spider-Man
She,
film.
like, her first
sometimes.
in her first issue in Ultimate, she brings a fucking knife to school.
Yeah.
You know, which is a pretty ballsy thing to do in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
in a
like,
comic book.
to be fair, like that's like one of those things where it's like when the editors and everything looked at that page, they must have went, lads, like we're really not in a situation where we can deal with like we're not DC, we can't get away with a fucking Snowbird story. Like we aren't going there, but they did it anyway.
Yeah. But the thing
That's
is,
balls. That's what that is.
like one of the main complaints about Riri Williams is that she spoke to Gen Z.
Yeah,
like,
rather than speaking like a human.
She would say, like, this armor is on fleek. Like, no.
Not even like ironically.
Know your enunciation for on fleek. It's got to be
Yeah.
at least ironic, or you got to believe it. I
Yeah,
don't believe it.
it's one of those. It's one that like. I'll put it like this: it's like dabbing. You either have to do it as a joke, or you have to be so out of tune with everything that I swear to God, Graham, I'm gonna knock you out. That you have to either do it because you think, oh, this is gonna be funny, or you gotta do it because I don't realise this is really outplayed, and I swear to God, I'm gonna. Son of a bitch. To be fair, I'm not gonna lie. If it was the other way around, I'd be thinking the exact same.
Take notes, Bendis.
This is how you make it real.
It's because he's not even writing Riri anymore. DC owns that shit now.
Yeah, DC owns his ass.
Or does he own
We-
DC?
To be fair, that's a fair question.
Mm.
Don't kill us, and don't kill our favorite characters. God damn it.
Yeah. Oh, see, the thing is, the sad part is, I actually like his version of Superman.
Yeah,
But I don't like his stories for Superman.
Nah.
It's just, it's so annoying because I really want to like it.
Yeah, to be fair, Superman's one of those characters that, especially if you've been into characters or been into comics for a while, you can get very bored with very quickly. Because like obviously anyone who's ever watched like a Superman movie that wasn't Christopher Reeves, you kind of get to the point where you're just kind of what, where is the suspense in this? And you want to like him, but it's also like you're giving me no reason to like him because it's just like it's like a paladin in or like a holy knight and anything. You're like, yeah, you look cool, but you're about as interesting as white bread.
But are you eating them?
Wait, are you eating? I knew we were going to bring it back. But like it is one of those things where I do want to like him, but at the same time it's like, give me reasons to, rather than just being like, oh, he's really powerful. It's like, god damn it, Goku's powerful, but he's more interesting than your ass.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's actually not that hard to make Superman interesting.
Yeah.
It's just that every writer goes in saying, oh god, how do I make him interesting? And then it kind of like, it backfires.
Yeah.
Like, the devil isn't in the details. You just gotta like... You see, the thing about Superman is he's supposed to always know what the right thing is, and I think the immediate way to challenge that is have him be questioned on what the right thing is. Because I think, I'm not a big fan of The Dark Knight Returns at all.
Nah,
But-
I enjoy it in terms of it's an interesting take, but I won't be the dude who's like, yes, it's canon. It's like,
Yeah, but then one of the few things that I actually really like actively enjoy about that story is that Superman's like idea of what's right and wrong is called into question. And it's one of the things that I liked a lot about Green Arrow is that like, his nickname for Batman and Superman are the Nazi.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like,
and it's a
people
thing of-
forget that he's like a massive SJW.
Yeah, like, and that's one of the things as well, like, of, like, people, like, especially, like, if it's a thing of they've only, like, watched Arrow or something like that, they don't, I enjoy that show, like, I have a massive man crush on Stephen Amell, but it's one of those things where you actually don't get across the idea that it's, I know.
It's okay, you can say it. Jake is attracted to Stephen Amell.
Straight out, like, here, to be fair, we're probably gonna have a goddamn list over here at some point of the men I am attracted to, because it's just like, I have a type. I have a goddamn type.
But anyways, you were saying about Arrow, you think it's fun?
I think it's fun, and I think if you're a fan of DC Comics and of the character, like, of the character at a stretch, because it is very much, they wanted to write a Batman show, but they're like, we've got Green Arrow, and it's like, well, one was based off the other, so that works.
Yeah,
like,
and Christopher Nolan's not returning our call, so what else can we do?
Yeah.
Okay, this guy, he can shoot arrows?
Oh, cool.
Okay.
And he's pretty much Batman, but everything's based off of arrows? Cool, I can live with that.
Voice modulator, you say?
Oh my god.
Hey, let DC steal this one off of us for a change.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it is one of those things where I don't think they get it across enough how much he is up for the little guy. If you know what I mean.
In the recent seasons he is, but you're fairly behind, so I won't say.
But in terms of like, if you were to put the whole thing as a package rather than separate now, you would sort of go, he's kind of, you know, like if you put it to the majority, to the lesser.
Yeah.
For like the first like 3 seasons, it was always like 3 or 4 seasons. It was always like
my father,
my friends, fuck you because of reasons. You know, like that was the point where I think they just went. We just want them to have scraps with characters people recognise.
Yeah.
To be fair though, I'm not gonna lie. Like there was points where I was going, that is very much Ollie over Bruce or Batman, but I was still going, it's not quite capturing like it's not capturing like the old school like when he when in the storylines like he especially around the time when he was working with Green Lantern in those stories where he lost his money and actually had to get a taste of, and actually like there is a whole thing in Green Arrow, Green Lantern where Hal is actually talking to him and he's like what, these guys are scumbag. Like they're walking through like, I don't think it is Harlem, but I think they're trying to imply it's like Harlem.
I think it was Detroit.
It was like they were trying to imply it was like an impoverished American city. I can't remember which. Like I'll find it at some point.
It's Detroit in the new comics.
I think it's Seattle in the very new comics. It's in Rebirth. It's Seattle, which is one of those things that I'm kind of like fair, because he has a history with Seattle and everything. But it's also like you're starting a whole new thing, and that's where you're going.
I mean, I always kind of thought that like Star City, whenever it was in the comics, it felt very Seattle to me.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like it's just one of those things of. It was just one of those things. I just thought an odd decision rather than going with something that's like, oh, this like it is like it is our Seattle.
It's kind of like how Gotham was supposed to be New York, basically.
Yeah, like or like a mixture between Gotham and like New Jersey and like that whole upper east area.
They ended up making it that like Gotham was supposed to be New York and then
Bloodhaven was New Jersey.
No, Bloodhaven was supposed to be Baltimore.
Was Baltimore, yeah, that's what it was.
Because of the Docklands.
Yeah, exactly. Like, see, this is the thing that even, like, it's one of those things that after reading for half our lives at this point, we still don't know everything. And I'm perfectly happy with that.
I'm okay with blissful ignorance.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll learn more eventually.
Right.
But, yeah, so, as you might tell, I'm a bit of a Green Arrow fan. And I have been for the last while. And he'd probably be, because like everyone I think has like characters that at least stay in their mind's eye. Like they might always be like, I might always turn around and say straight away, Green Arrow is my favourite character. But at the very least I'll turn around and go, and there's Green Arrow. Yeah, like he's always in like that top 3 that are in the front of my mind.
It's kind of like the top 3 that you have a joint third place with someone, you know?
They're like the 3 that like I'll walk into a bar and they'll always be there. Like they're like 3 normal, like 3 regulars that I'll have at all times. Like, and like to be fair, depending on what my mood is, it could be 4. But for the most part, it is those like 3. And some of you might be shocked to see that most of them are DC. But yeah, so one of them is like Azaro. And in terms of Rebirth, I actually really enjoyed what they did, because rather than just being like trying to be like kind of the way Marvel does, like, oh, a movie's successful, let's make the comic book characters like it. Like, because like the Marvel Now Star-Lord looks like more like me. And then out of like when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, all of a sudden he looks like Chris Pratt. You know what I mean? And like that's like, I'm not against it. It's just more so like it's a clear thing that they try and do. Whereas in this,
I think the biggest example would actually be like, in my opinion, I think the biggest example of that would be Tony Stark, because like, people are kind of like, oh my god, Robert Downey Jr. completely modeled his performance around the original Tony Stark. He is just Tony Stark, but like
when you look especially at like things like the whole episode of him becoming an alcoholic. When you look at like the way he's drawn, you're kind of like, it's a little bit of a push. Like if Robert Downey Jr. had like one of the worst days of his life, maybe, but like,
I think he already kind of had.
Yeah, he kind of already had, but like a day like that, like, and like to be fair,
he had several days like.
Like to be fair, I love how we got into another man that like I have a man crush on out of nowhere, but I do like
your weaknesses.
Yeah, you know my weaknesses, but I do enjoy it because one, like they do 3 things that I really enjoy. One, they didn't just try and go off the coattails and be like, let's make him look like Stephen Amell, even though I think he's great. And like,
that wouldn't be a downside.
That wouldn't really be a downside. But I more so appreciate the fact that they didn't go, hey, let's like ride in the coattails of something that makes money. Also, I like the fact that, like, you won't tell from the first cover, but you'll tell from the second one. They involve Canary a lot more, which it's like a thing that I really just enjoy because their dynamic is always good. Like, especially since in this, it's one of those like things where it's like they're just after for Rebirth, they're just after getting to like start knowing each other when this kicks off, which I think is good because it does allow you for like to see. It's not like the way Justice League Unlimited was, where it's like anytime you see them, it's like, oh yeah, they're a package deal, because there was a period where it was like Canary was doing her own things with the Birds of Prey, and then Ollie was doing his own shit by himself, or randomly with like other characters. But I do enjoy the fact that it is a thing where they're like, put them together. They're really good, not even in terms of like a couple or anything like that, but just in terms of exactly, but just in terms of two characters who, when written well, they bounce off each other really well. Like, they're very funny.
Yeah, because like one thing that I always do and like enforce in my opinions is that in terms of like DC couples, and yes, I am pushing the couples.
Yeah, you are going to push the couples, yeah.
It's like the thing is, I could probably live without, Dick and Babs getting together, but like one couple that I don't like seeing apart is Ollie and Dinah.
Yeah, because I think it's just one of those things
it's a Lois and Clark situation. They're a package deal. In my opinion, I think they're a package deal.
Yeah.
Not to say that like one character is worse without the other.
I think it's one of those things where it's like, if we're going to push the couples aspect, they're that couple that like you can go out with either of them and have a good laugh, but when they're together, it's like, oh, lads, we're going to be up for it. Like, it's going to be great crap. Like, and I'd say probably the last thing is just the fact that they kept them true to the way he was like originally seen as like a bit of an SJW. Because I do, like, as much as like I might be like, blah 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 blah, I do like that about him, because it's like he has principle. It's not super vague in terms of like justice. It's like, I'm gonna look after the little guy, even though I was the 1%. Yeah, because that's one thing that I really liked about the Justice League Unlimited cartoon, when he's like, well, I gotta look out for the little guy, and then Batman's like, I fought the big guys. Big guys tend to step on little guys. Yeah, exactly. And like that, like, it's one of those things as well. I'm paraphrasing, but like, yeah, well, like, that's it. If you want to go off now and find it on YouTube so we look like idiots, that's perfectly fine, because we already are idiots. We already are idiots. It's all cool. But like, you can't make something worse. Yeah, you can't destroy something that deprecates itself. Exactly. But I do really I have enjoyed it, and it's one of those things of I'm still keeping up with it because work. Keeping up with the Queen Dashians. Yeah, exactly. God damn it! Why do you have to ruin everything? Here, scrap. But it is one of those ones where, if it was a thing where if I had to choose straight out, like, you can only get one thing for the next month, and like that's what you're buying, I'd be like, alright, I'll probably just get Green Arrow then. Because like, it's just one of those things I enjoy getting to and knuckling down with, and having Batman without the sanctimoniousness of Batman, and just having like the ability to make a joke but also, be somewhat intimidating, as much as a man with a hood and a goatee. Yeah, because I like to think that the reason, like, whenever Batman is funny, it's very like dry humor, and I like to think, like, I like to think that it's very much inspired by Alfred's sense of humor. Yeah, you could definitely see that. Just like this pure, I'm not actually allowed to slag you, or I'm not really supposed to show personality, but I'm going to roast you. I think like that's one of those things where he was like, I'm not supposed to be funny. But I'll do it like Dad does, because you wouldn't realise it's funny after them. It's what I'm used to. It's what I'm used to. Like, I had a weird relationship. It's like the thing about like British humour in general, like, as shown by the likes of like most Channel 4 shows, like Black Books and all that. It's not like loud humour where it's like really in your face. It's more like little small jabs that kind of go in between the like loose bits of armour, if you know what I mean. Like, the way I'd explain it is, like, if say, like, for an American who might watch this and go, oh, like, I don't really get what I mean. It's like the difference between, like, the Cosby Show, like, where it's, like, big and it's loud and blah, 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 and only fools and horses. Where it's, like, it is big and loud, but most of the jokes they're things you could miss, or things you wouldn't. Like, if you rewatched it, you'd tag onto them again, or, like, the way I describe it is, like, European / British, because we're not British, humor is like when you watch a kid's film, and like as a kid, then you watch it when you get older, and you realize that like there was a joke about a dick or something like that.
There was one joke from Animaniacs where it was like, okay, we need to find Prince. I found Prince. No, fingerprints.
I don't think so.
So like that.
Yeah, that kind of I do adore that kind of humor as well. Where,
yeah, and like, Alfred would kind of have that growing up in like England, like even just in the SAS with the boys.
Yeah, exactly.
The boys in the trenches.
The boys in the trenches.
I think that I know that would have rubbed off on Bruce then as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I know Animaniacs is a bit more like it is American, but like to use that as an example for anyone who's not familiar with British humor, that would be the kind of best thing.
Yeah, that would be like either that, or if you're one of those odd, Americans who do get that kind of humor, like
Elijah
Fawlty
Wood.
Towers. Oh, yeah, Elijah Wood. He's a really good example.
He actually left doing American comedy, so he could work with BBC America on English comedies.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's doing Dirk Gently, which I know is it's written by Max Landis and it's adapted by Max Landis, I should say. But like the humor is still very much dry English, and when it's silly, it's still kind of like what? It's kind of like the Alfred humor of like Master Bruce, I've drawn you a bath. Oh, thank you. I said I drew you a bath. I drew you a bath. So it's,
like you can definitely tell, at least in some part, Green Street had an effect on that. Like doing that, being around a bunch of actors that were Cockneys and shit like that.
Which is just a class film as well.
Brilliant film.
Like,
if I have a recommendation today that isn't comic books, watch Green Street.
Like, bitch, pause right now, go watch Green Street, then come back.
And if you're in America, it'll be under the name Hooligans. Because you apparently can't have a story-based thing. You have to be told what it's about. It's about football hooligans.
Yes, football, not soccer. Football, football.
And for anyone who needs context, because you're just having Green Street and hooligans shout at you, it's about West Ham's firm, which is a showy football club, but it's a great film.
It's okay.
Liverpool's at the top of the league, so fuck you. For a week, probably.
So anyways, as you were talking about Green Arrow, then was there anything that impacted you with the most recent and controversial Heroes in Crisis, with the spoilers for Heroes in Crisis for the two people reading it?
To be fair, Heroes in Crisis is one of those things that I think I read like 2 issues of, and I went, I need to get back to this when it comes to its end, because like I think I don't know if it was a thing my brain melting trying to keep up, or it was a thing of just being like it's still one of those things that I really don't know how I feel about it. Especially since the thing where I sort of like read it for a bit and then went, I need a break. Because I don't know if it was a thing of just it wasn't my flavour, or if it was a thing of I just went, I'm not going to enjoy this because of whatever reason's going on. Or if it was just, I just don't want to read this for the minute. But like it wasn't terrible from what I read.
Honestly, you know me, I'll pretty much read anything.
Yeah, you'll read anything, like as long as it's a thing where it has characters you'd be invested in, or you could find investment in.
But at the same time,
Oh, here we go.
I've just been skimming it. It's just like Tom King, I love you.
I know you do the robot.
It's fucking boring, man.
It's like, to be fair, like it has to be one of those things where it's like the first Crisis, where rather than like it's really interesting or something really controversial happened, it's just what is the point?
I was like, the thing is, not to get too heavy in something where we're supposed to be just like taking the piss, but like if you're here for a serious comic book talk, you came to the wrong place, really.
This is real. The way I describe our way of doing things is, you'll have those mates who just like talking shop. Like, we're pretty much like a barbershop conversation. But one of those weird barbers that you can get a beer at.
What barbers do you go to? Actually, don't answer that.
Man Cave, up by walking down Roundabout. Or if they're still
sponsor us.
They actually, like, they do it, and I know there's like 3 or 4 other places. Like, there's places with pool tables and shit all over Dublin now, which is great. So if you get really bored and I want to get my beard cut.
But yeah, anyway, sorry, not to get too heavy or whatever, but like, as someone who does actually struggle with PTSD, I was really looking forward to actually seeing a story where it would be well represented, but they kind of overshot that and didn't really make it about heroes of PTSD at all. It's just kind of like, it's a really bad murder mystery. It's like Tom King.
Murder, She Wrote with Batman.
It's like Tom King was in a room with Dan DiDio playing Cluedo. Replaced like Colonel Mustard with Batman so Lobdell would actually play it with them as well. And then decided, you know what? There's something here.
We're going to make an entire goddamn crisis off a game of Cluedo.
Yeah, I mean...
Which would, here, to be fair, if you sold something to me as that, I'd be like, hey, that could be pretty funny.
Like, as someone who runs a D&D RPG based around DC characters, plug, it's like, as someone who actually does...
Where's their plug?
Right over there.
One of the days, like, in future, I need to have a plug with me in future, so we can go,
yeah. But anyways, yeah, like, as someone who kind of runs a D&DC campaign...
Bah. Not true.
That's exactly what it kind of felt like when I was reading it, and I don't know, I mean, it just didn't stick. Like, first of all, that month for DC just seemed to be shock value in a franchise, really.
Yeah,
it's just it's like, oh, okay, Tom, this is what we're gonna do. Dad, have you taken up smoking again? Shut up, Tom. This is what we're gonna do. You know the Ginger Flash. The Ginger Flash. Wally West. No, the other Ginger Flash. Wally West. Yeah, that one. We're gonna kill him for shock value, Tom. We're gonna kill him for shock value. People are gonna love it. I don't think people are gonna love it. No, Tom, they're gonna love it. They are gonna. They want to see that Wally West dead. It's like I know. Tom King has outwardly said editorial has had no say in his decision to kill off those characters because he says he has the luxury of being able to do whatever the hell he wants with DC. But that's what editorial is for.
That's the point.
Is to avoid this shit.
And it's also like it's one of those things where doing those things, I think he's probably like. It's one of those things that shows that he might be mildly out of touch with what fans are really enjoying in terms of like, because like it's one of those things of 9 times out of 10 where they kill off a character in the last while. If it's not like Batman or Superman, if it's like one of the younger characters or a character who hasn't gotten a chance to develop yet, it's like, oh, we're gonna have them dead for like, 3. Well, in terms of like the way we it used to be years. Now it's like events.
They'll be back next week.
Yeah, but like characters like who haven't had like their like they don't have the Batman sort of like appeal to people where it's like, oh, I know who Batman is even though I've never seen or done anything involving Batman. Whereas you turn around and go to someone on the street, what do you think of Nightwing? They'll go, who? And I think that's why they sort of turn and go, oh, the people who care about this character will be pissed off. Well, the general public will be fine with it because it'll just be like, oh, Batman's friend.
There's this really good YouTuber plug called Nightwing 01.
Yes.
With a K.
Yeah.
He made this excellent point like years ago now, saying that it's like killing off Nightwing in general can be a bad idea. Personally, I love a good death arc so long as it's done well. That's beside the point. That's neither here nor there.
That's a different story.
But he was saying, sure, kill off Nightwing because people won't recognize it. But if you kill off Dick Grayson, all of a sudden people are like, oh, Dick Grayson, Robin. No, he's not. Oh God, that's what he did. He's not wearing hot pants anymore.
Yeah, he's not. He wore a disco suit.
Yeah, so it's kind of like It's like you can kill off the identity of Nightwing, which is kind of what they've done in the Rick Grayson arc.
they made it a thing where it's like
Nightwing
the identity is dead, but like he's
Dick
still wandering around. Yeah.
So it's kind of like he's like, that's why I actually like the Rick arc because it's kind of like it's appeasing those fans. Like we didn't kill off your beloved Dick Grayson. He's right here.
But he's not.
If anything, he's actually happier, not actually lifting a goddamn finger.
Yeah, exactly. Like
but I think what the point of the story is that like. Going back to what I was saying earlier, it's driving home the idea that he's still inherently a good person, but he's still kind of like... I don't know, he's still a little bit rough around the edges, he's still kind of streetish, kind of back to... It's kind of like going back to what Jeff Loeb was doing with Dark Victory. They made him a bit more of a punk, a little bit more angry, which is sort of what the Titan show is going for.
A bit more like the little bit more of the I've seen my way through the streets and I haven't got a problem with doing it more. Kind of like the heart. Like this is like if
it's kind of
if Dick got a little bit of like Clint Eastwood in his personality. Like one of those things of just like, I don't give a fucking shit. I mean, I've seen shit.
When Suicide Squad was coming out, I thought his son would make a good Dick Grayson. I'm just saying.
To be fair, it's one of those things where you just go. Scott Eastwood, yeah. He was actually like, for the very little he was in it, he actually wasn't bad. Like,
no, I quite enjoyed it.
I would never say that's Clint Eastwood's kid, but I'd say, hey, he didn't fuck anything up, so like, you can't kill him for it.
But see, the thing is, I feel like this is what Dick Grayson would become if he wasn't taken in by Bruce. It's like the Dick Grayson that would have been affected by his parents' death.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't have had the emotional support of the Bat family. He wouldn't have had Alfred, and he wouldn't have had Bruce.
He would have been like bouncing around.
He likes to have his digs at Bruce, but he never actually like hated him.
It's also one of those things where you think about that and you think of what would probably have happened to him. You probably would have been like, he probably would have had like a personality, like not exactly like, because they are two very different characters, but he probably would have had an outlook on the world a little bit more the way Billy Batson looks at the world before he becomes Shazam, where it's like, it's me over everybody and screw you guys.
I don't trust anyone.
Yeah, like this, like I'm in this house, but like I'm my own home, or I'm my own tower kind of thing.
I don't trust anyone but Superman, because Superman's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like, oh, he gave me a really cool idea for a costume.
I can fly.
Oh god.
I joke, but I love Shazam.
Yeah, Shazam, and saw the film, great, love it. And to be fair, literally the only thing about it that I was like, son of a bitch, was that like...
Haven't seen it.
Oh, it's literally, it's not even like... It's something that I'd say you would already have thought of. Right. They're not going to have in it is the fuck off tiger.
Oh, yeah.
That's literally it. And it's like one of those things of, I can't imagine they would do it straight away.
Did your phone charged? Your cat's charged?
Your cat's, oh my god!
Sparky, no! No, Sparky.
Fluffy!
But,
turns into the fucker from He-Man.
Like the thing about the Rick Grayson arc is, there's already been a similar interpretation of this by really good director by Hisonni Johnson. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. But he did this really cool fan film called Grayson Earth 1.
Yeah.
Where he takes the character of Dick Grayson and he has it that he never even knew Bruce Wayne. He's like, he's in a metal band in a bar, and like, just, you know what, I'm gonna leave it there. Just watch it. The guy's amazing.
It's really one of those ones. It's one of those ones where you sort of, the first like 30 seconds you're kind of like, what in the, and then like from then on in you're like, oh yeah, this is some good shit. Like, this is really interesting, man.
Yeah, I really hope he finishes it at some stage.
It would be fantastic if he did.
I'm really looking forward to, like, I don't even know if it's still happening, but his Green Lantern.
Oh god, that'd be awesome.
That little teaser.
Yeah.
Was just like, huh.
To be fair, like there's lots of people like that. Like Ismahawk is another one, because I remember.
Yeah, they're working on something at the moment. I saw on their like Instagram.
Yeah, like that's like
Instahawk,
yeah. But like it's one of those things as well. Like if there was anything that they did, which I think they kind of would have used, like because they would be my example like that for a character would be. I remember a couple of years ago they did a thing where it was like they had the whole Nightwing series where he was fighting Deathstroke.
Yes.
And then there was a point where Red Hood was going to be in it, and they never got around to it, I don't think. Or I haven't seen it personally.
Kind of. Did I not show you?
I think you might have, but it's like it was a while ago.
They did Red Hood, and like.
Yeah, they did a Red Hood thing.
The costumes and the cast heavily imply that it's at least associated with the same world. Yeah. But like, I still found it pretty fun.
The bit of it that I was really looking forward to, though, if they actually did it, was they did a Superboy, Connor Kent like video. Where they had Nightwing at the end of it, which sort of made it imply that they were going to do like a Teen Titans thing, and then it just never came around. Which I was like, even the dude, like I will, for another day I will find out the actor's name, but he was very much what I'd imagine like a realist, like a in front of you, Connor would look like. Even though there was like things obviously that like you can never, it's very very rare you get a perfect casting for a character unless it's like you with Hush, where it's I can never remember his name, but he was in
Damian Lewis.
He's Damian Lewis, yeah.
He was the ginger dude from Homeland.
Yeah. Who I still need to watch that.
Oh man, you still haven't watched Homeland?
I still haven't watched Homeland. No,
okay, I'll say nothing, but like
I know it's very me. It's like people have the same reaction with me not watching Homeland or not watching Breaking Bad as the same reaction with like Game of Thrones, because I've never watched an episode of Game of Thrones, but I know a bunch of the shit that goes on in.
You know what I mean.
And I met the Mountain, and like I've met a couple of people from it. I'm like, I don't watch what you do, but you're pretty cool.
But yeah, I'd honestly love to see Ismahawk continue anything that's done, or even just Hisonni. I'd love to see him. Like,
yeah, he's fantastic.
Because like, as a filmmaker myself, I know a lot of crap gets in the way of actually filming, like scheduling, casting. Because when you're an independent filmmaker and you have a set cast, you need to have everyone available at one time. Yeah. And let me tell you, if you want to get into film, it's pretty hard to get everyone at one time.
100%. Even when it was things like we've done shit in the past where it was like 3 of us, and it'd be like I'd be there, he'd be there, but that like one person. It's the one person who isn't like in the inner folds of what actually goes on behind it is like, well, I'm not gonna bother my ass, and it's like, lad, you're literally fucking up a whole project because you're.
That's today.
Yeah, that's that. We've had that phone call so many times, and it's just like it's either a thing where we've actually had like
we've been on the set.
We've been on the set, and they just like people would be like, "I'm not arsed," and it's like, then why did you come out? Why did you agree to anything?
Yeah, it's like the worst is when you send reminders for the whole week. Oh, that's today. Yeah. Oh yeah, man, I can't do it. What? Yeah, I can't do it. And
then like that's your whole day is like. Because like there's at least 3 to 4 projects we have half made.
Yeah.
And literally it's because we had that one person we agreed like would do it, and we didn't want to screw them over or like replace them, because it's always when you replace somebody because they don't turn up, they will be at the next one saying, why the hell is this person doing my job? And it's like,
because I was sitting on the set in a goddamn spandex suit for hours waiting for you to show up.
Like, see, like, that's for me, it was grand, because I was just in a t-shirt and jeans and, well, a pretty crappy pair of boots, but at the same time, like,
those boots are so dead now.
Oh, man, those, if I can find them...
Did you get a picture of those boots?
I really did,
Just bring the boots next episode.
I will, 100%, because those things we use for...
So much.
So much. To be fair, we had it where those boots were used most for him falling on top of me when I was supposed to be asleep, which we had...
Out of context, that sounds really weird,
but anyone who knows us, it sounds like, yeah, that's a possibility. But, like it is one of those things where, like, it is tough, especially, like... especially when it's, like, a thing of, like the more you go outside of, like, the people who are invested. Like, I'd say, like, the film that went the smoothest was literally, it was the 2 of us and someone running the camera, and that was it. Which was we did a Walking Dead inspired thing, which was...
Yeah, and we never got to finish it.
We never got to finish it, yeah.
Because of one person.
Yeah, once again, but also it's a thing as well that if we were to do it again, we'd have to redo it entirely, because we both look entirely different from when we did it.
I had to like rewrite it, but like I'll cut this part out just because like it's getting too off topic. But
yeah.
But anyways, yeah. But like end of Heroes in Crisis.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you feel about Roy Harper? He's just like not going to be in Green Arrow for a while because like he's dead.
Yeah, like. That's one of those things I don't like. It seems like, once again, shock value for like your Green Arrow fans, and like say like probably as well your Black and Earth fan, or anyone who's really like in any way linked to that character. So Titans fans, if you watch Young Justice a couple of times, I'd say like he, along with Dick, are probably like of the like original sidekicks. They'd be the ones that you could say their name and the most people turn and go, oh yeah, I know that guy. Yeah,
like the thing is, I do still think, despite my mixed to negative thoughts on Heroes in Crisis, I mean, I'm not in any way worried about DC's future, because like comics are like silly putty. They eventually sort of just go back to the same shape you had them in the first place. You know,
like unless like they are committed to being like, no, we're gonna finish this and we're gonna have an end to it, rather than.
It's just in the most recent issue, even like, I'm not remotely worried about like Dick not getting his memory back, because he is, because like Doomsday Clock, as we know, it's set kind of ahead of everything else.
Yeah.
In in DC continuity. In fact, people are always kind of wondering, well, what's going to happen with this character because of Doomsday Clock? What's going to happen with Firestorm because of Doomsday Clock? But it's like the one thing.
Just be prepared if you're going to read it. If something has fucking Dr. Manhattan involved, it's gonna be some weird ass shit.
It's gonna be some Grant Morrison levels of weird ass shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be some like someone's destroyed at the molecular level, but one cell survived and they make a new one out of that off of his thoughts or something.
That's how they bring Connor back.
100%, yes.
But see, the thing is, I mean, people were worried about like Nightwing not coming back, but like honestly, he gets his memory back. He's like
he's sitting in the goddamn in the suit
next to Barbara.
So unless it's a thing that someone who looks remarkably like him decided, you know what, like they pulled a Deadpool and went, I'm going to troll the fans real quick. He gets his memory back and he's flowing along and doing some weird ass shit. I do love the cover stuff. The covers are fantastic, really.
Like I absolutely. I mean, honestly,
especially
I had a very.
the
lenticular, yeah.
Yeah, with Rorschach's face and the mask. It's goddamn. It's one of those ones where I'm actually like, we don't know if you can see it on that, but we will.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, which is fantastic because it's real like. What the heck?
Yeah, it's a little different. I love lenticulars. I got like the Flash one for the button, which I might show.
Oh yeah, or the Flash one where it's Jay Garrick.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one that I picked up anyway. I didn't get the other one like the with the actual button on it.
Yeah, but it was still very, very cool.
Doomsday Clock was a very kind of. It was kind of a mixed bag for me at the start, but it ended up growing on me because like. I'm not going to try and spoil too much. I mean, I don't mind spoiling Heroes in Crisis because Tom King's doing that already.
Yeah, he's...
Sorry. I'm a little bitch.
I'm not going to lie, he is like the Tom Holland of DC when it comes to like creators, because it's just like, they really shouldn't tell him what's going on, even though he's one of the ones who's making what's going on. It's like, they should give him like a fake script or something like that and just be like, here, go play.
It's like Joshua Williams and like, yeah, man, I'm thinking of actually spawning off, I don't know, maybe a Wally West flashbook. What? A Wally West flashbook, you know, as a side. Interesting. Wally West dies in HIC.
And then, or like it's a thing where it's just like he's gonna be sitting there and someone's like, I have this really good idea, and like as they're saying it to him, he's like going, like he's writing down what they're saying onto Twitter immediately, just being like, oh yeah, let's just fuck this shit up. It's like, like lad, chill your tits. I know you might be excited, but
I was in the FBI. I can have your entire story erased.
It's like to be fair, we need to remember that. Don't murder us. Also,
was it CIA? No, it was FBI.
It was. I think it was FBI because I think one of those people who like technically don't have any jurisdiction over us. So
they have their ways, though.
They have their ways. The NSA is somehow probably watching us through this recording.
Them emails, man.
Those emails, man. They went somewhere.
But like, in any ways, yeah, I actually, honestly, if you weren't invested in Doomsday Clock at the start, I highly recommend at least
giving it a chance.
Pick up a trade or wait for your friend to pick up a trade of it, and then have them lend it to you for like a week or two, because you'll go through it in a couple of days. It's honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it's actually like
it's not that big.
This is it. Yeah. That's only like it's 9 or 12 issues, so it's only like add a couple more onto
it's
that.
Not even. It's not like you don't need to be worrying about it being like the Clone Saga, like Spider-Man thing, where it goes on for 16 years and makes no sense. And
no, that's actually a perfect example. Because like, I think it was put to me recently that DC's editorial has suffered without Jeff Johns at the helm.
Yeah,
because like, I'm not a fan of Dan DiDio. I'm mostly just salty because he doesn't like Nightwing, to be honest.
Yeah, to be fair, I think a lot of people who are like our age and into comics, like we
feel the same way.
Yeah, because it's like why screw yourself over?
I feel like with Jeff Johns in the chair, he can tell him, look, that's a little too radical. People are going to hate that. So yeah, no, honestly, Doomsday Clock, read it. It's awesome. Like, I honestly love it to pieces. But
like I will give it a chance. Like at some point, it's just like getting around to it because there's other things I want to get stuck into.
Honestly, you can read some while you're here. Like
I probably will end up doing it, to be fair.
Yeah, but the thing about editorial is without Jeff Johns, it has suffered quite a bit because he was the one who was able to tell Dan DiDio, hey, maybe rein this in. People aren't really going to like it too much.
Don't screw up my shit too much. You know?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I think DC and the fans of DC as well see Jeff Johns as a bit of a problem solver because think of most recent sort of crisis. Johns had some sort of workings at the helm of it, like he most notably Flashpoint.
Flashpoint was one of those ones where you just went, this could go so goddamn badly. This could be so bad, and then it's like once the foot came in the door, you're like, okay, I feel a lot more confident now. Or how he, like, because obviously the film for this character came out a while ago. How he, for New 52, the character I think that got one of the best treatments was Aquaman, and Jeff Johns was like dealing for like how long he was working on that book. He was
doing Aquaman, then he did Aquaman and the others,
and it's one of those things that Justice League as well. Anyone who has ever thought Aquaman is a shit character, read The Trench. straight out. It's one of those books where you go, holy shit, this character is actually amazing.
DC are trying to make a horror movie out of that as well, out of the trench.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie, that would be
I'm kind of into it.
The trench. If you don't realise what the trench is referring to, it's just straight out. If you've seen the Aquaman film, you know exactly what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
It's just those horrible, eldritch horror looking motherfuckers.
Like Lovecraftian.
Lovecraftian. They're beautiful in the most horrible way possible. They're
Guillermo del Toro's wet dream.
Literally, like, if it's probably when he was making Shape of Water, he probably was actually thinking something more on the lines of one of the trenchers, you know?
Hey man, let's make her fuck one of those.
To be fair, I'd say that'd be one of those things where I'd say that would be where it lost the Oscar bait. Would be, whoa, that thing's way too ugly.
Yeah, really gills their clientele.
Yeah, they really do.
He was good.
This is gonna happen. For anyone who doesn't know this man, this happens a lot. But no, honestly, like I think he, in general, I really love the man, just because he, like, 9 times out of 10, I've never really found any of his, like, I won't say any of his work, but 90% of his work, I have gone, I really enjoyed it, or it's like it didn't leave a sour taste in my mouth for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I like Guillermo's visual work. I just don't think he's a very good storyteller.
Oh, like I was talking about Jeff Johns, but like, Guillermo del Toro, I appreciate for different reasons entirely. Like I like his visual design in a lot of things, and I appreciate's the better word. I appreciate a lot of things he's done. It's just sometimes it's like, could you not? Like Shape of Water, I thought was a good film. Like it was a great Oscar film. Was it great entertainment?
Spit it out.
The pacing could have been, in my eyes, the pacing could have been a lot better, because there was points where you were learning things about people that had no relevance to the main plot, or even the plot as at large. I will say, I did enjoy it, because I enjoy any film that has Michael Shannon being a hard nut, because he's really good at that, but also when you see him outside of things, you realise, well, he's not at all a hard nut. He just looks like one.
The Fishman! I will find him!
Like, to be fair, like that film, like, I'm probably like the 6,000th person to say it, but like, to be fair, it's probably what he wanted to do with the Hellboy films, but like Mike Mignola went, no way are you having Abe fuck Liz. No. Can Liz fuck Hellboy? Yes, that's perfectly fine.
But about Jeff Johns, as a storyteller, I'm not a huge fan of his overall work. I mean, even Batman Earth 1, which is supposed to be one of those things that's very accessible to fans. Like, you just gave him back Teen Titans, which is amazing. Teen Titans Earth 1,
which is great. It's really interesting.
Which is by, crap, it's gonna...
Let's bite the bullet!
Where is it? It's up there somewhere.
It's somewhere.
Jeff Lemire.
Yes.
It's by Jeff Lemire. And one of the best Teen Titans books I've ever read of all time. Like, holy crap! But then Jeff Johns, he wrote this interesting, to say the least, Batman book for Earth 1, and I thought,
you could have.
I just thought the entire time, this is an amazing idea from the wrong writer.
Yeah, like he is. Like,
he's an idea guy.
He's an idea guy, but like I think that's like a lot of the times that's just what people they need. Which is grand. Like I'm not going to say.
Which is why he should be an editorial.
Exactly, but also I think it's one of those things that 9 times out of 10, when like it's one of those things of you mightn't go like it's not like when you see Jim Lee on a book and you're like, holy shit, this is going to look fantastic. It's like, you know, at the very least, it's unlikely to be bad.
Yeah, and
like he's one of those guys that's got a high floor, but like not a really high ceiling. Like he's got a really nice wedge where he's like very good and very like he's not someone
that. There's a grey area, and that's where you operate.
Yeah, like he's not like some writers where I'll see them paired with a character and go, oh, for fuck's sake.
Look here, even if you're not huge into Jeff Johns, Gary Frank is an amazing artist. Yes. And I can't plug this book enough. Like, just look at this yourself.
Yeah, like I will say this much out of everything. The actual art itself, like in terms of, because I think people don't take this enough in terms of, because it is art telling a story.
Absolutely.
Because I do love, like, not just a pretty page, but a well structured page where it's like you can follow. You can follow the emotion.
As well.
Yeah, I noticed that as you were showing it to the camera a minute ago.
It's got a teeny tiny clock that moves.
Yeah, and it screws around with the Superman logo. But yeah, it's like it's one of those things. I will say this much: there's more people who give a shit and try than there are people who just read it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the way I'll phrase it. Like, there's more people I'm comfortable with doing stuff than I am uncomfortable doing.
So I guess that kind of brings us to our next point of the future plans of DC, and where do you think they're going to go, and where do you want them to
Kill everyone that isn't Batman. That's probably someone's already suggested that, but I think it's pretty. I think the future's pretty good.
For a second there, I thought that's where you wanted it to go.
No. That's what
piece of shit.
No, that's where they probably want to. They to be fair, I almost imagine they're gonna have it's gonna be near Christmas. They're gonna have an advent calendar of every day they kill a different character just for a laugh. Because that's just how it's going. Like, it's either
Doomsday calendar.
Doomsday Advent. Jesus.
I mean, they're dragging everything else out like metal.
Yeah.
We're still on the fucking tail of metal at the moment.
Yeah.
After No Justice and now HIC.
I
swear to God, I will stop bitching about HIC.
We've had a weird while with DC where it's just been like they've had these really mad ideas.
Which could work,
but then somewhere along the line, it's just kind of it's not even like sometimes with things when they explode, it's like a car crash. You don't want to see it. It's like NASCAR. That's the difference between a crash car and a NASCAR. Is NASCAR you watch the race, but you're looking for a crash. What DC is more like, it's like the idea of you don't want to see it happen, but you'll watch anyway. At least that's interesting.
That was strangely poignant.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean? It's like you're not looking for it to happen, but if it happens, you go, I'll laugh at that stupid shit. Like, in terms of the comics, not a car crash.
Yeah.
But it's that's where I draw the parallel. Whereas, what we're looking for is, even if it's not a great idea, but it's executed really well, I would much rather see that. If it's a medium to nearly boring kind of idea, but it's expressed and everything's done really well, that would be more interesting to me than something that has a massive premise and just shits on the carpet. You know what I mean? To be fair, there was things about metal I liked. I do like the fact that it was this is the thing. The overarching story was actually
pretty decent.
Was decent, but
as an idea.
But the actual personalities and the reasoning behind each of the Dark Knights was way more interesting than anything they did in the main story.
All the side stories were so engaging to the point where the Batman Who Laughs has his own goddamn comic.
Yeah, and then there's the Grim Knight who just came out, who is literally every fanboy who wants to see a Batman Punisher. You just got it. Yeah. You got a Spider-Man Punisher, and then you got a Batman Punisher. But to be fair, and it's one of those things where it made me more interested in the character that they got the inspiration from. Aquaman, I always think Aquaman's great, but the whole thing of the drowning and it being a negative Earth 11, I think it was, because I know Earth 11 is the gender bent
universe.
Earth. Yeah. But I just found it really interesting that that's where they went for it, which I was cool, that's actually to do with anyone. I would imagine them doing it with Wonder Woman where it'd be a bit that's a bit too on the nose. But the fact that it was they decided let's make this one different. And I do enjoy the fact that it wasn't oh, I just woke up one day and I was Atlantean. It's a Bruce Wayne sort of a Batman thing to do. It's I am going to perform surgery on myself to fuck with the person who screwed me over. And then as well, the Wonder Woman inspired, who was because there was the Drowned, there was the Red Death, there was War Machine or something like that. It was something to do with war. I cannot remember the name of the Wonder Woman inspired one, but it's the whole thing of how far will he go if pushed, and it's really good because just him taking on the arm Ares' armor, it's no, you'd never do that. But what if he did though? And it's holy shit, that's terrifying, because it's just not even him just going, I'm more of a warrior now. It's going, what if he just said one day, fuck it, I don't give a shit anymore. I have this super powerful piece of
fuck you, I'm Batman.
Ancient armor, and I'm Batman. I'm not gonna lie though, the one that broke my heart the most was probably the Red Death. Just that whole thing of him.
We're not even gonna spoil that one.
We're not gonna spoil it, but it's a Flash based thing, and if you've seen any of the artwork for it, you could probably get a vague idea, but it is very much heartbreaking. It's one of those ones where if they had just done the entire lead up to that would have been a great story. Just as a mini series of because they don't actually say what the events were that led to it. They just every single time it's shit got screwed, this thing happened, the world's going to end, and this is how they came out of it.
So we are going to be getting another soft reboot. Like after Heroes in Crisis and after Doomsday Clock, especially when that ends, that will actually change things on a cosmic level.
Yeah.
What do you actually want to see happen moving forward? Like, what would be your dream scenario?
Enough with the goddamn reboots for one. That would be lovely.
That's never going to happen.
That's never going to happen. But like, even like in terms of just the actual structure of things, give us like 3 years. Just give us 3 years of consistent stories like they did back in the day of just, hey, we've got stories to tell you, here you go. Without having to go, is this in continuity? Is that in continuity? Just set out a rigid basis and go, right, this is where we're going for Hero.
When you think about it, New 52 was that. It's just people didn't like it because the old continuity was erased. It's just that when you think about it, right before the New 52, right before Flashpoint, I should say, like, let's be honest with ourselves here, DC was a mess.
Yeah, everything was... Because, like, it's one of those things where Flashpoint literally was a Flashpoint. But it's also, like... It's one of those things of, would you rather have your old thing, but it's, like, limping along and really struggling? Or would you rather have a new thing that's, like, this might be exactly what we want, but it could lead to actually something really good at the end of it? Like, I'm sort of treating this as, like not like a drought, but kind of like a dysfunctional president. Don't know where I could have got that from, but like it's one of those times. It's one of those times in like a comic book sort of like, or like in history or in comics, where it's just. I think we just need one thing where it's just like, this is gonna set our standard from here on in for like the next couple of years, rather than. You know, like that thing of, oh, we have this really good idea. Oh, we fucked it up. Oh, here's this new idea. Oh, we fucked that up too. Okay, here we go. You know, like instead of like trying to, because it's almost at times like it feels like they're trying to shove shit under the carpet and go, oh no, we didn't do that because it's not in continuity anymore. Like if they were
retconned it, you can't complain about it.
Yeah, like wear a little bit more on the nose, and if you make a mistake, try and make something better of it, and maybe stop killing characters for the crack. I swear to God, come up with something new. Because honestly, that's how everyone's gonna get goddamn bored with just like, oh, this character's dead this week, or that character's dead. You know was the last time DC killed off a character that I can honestly say it did a lot of good? Was when Barry Allen goddamn died, and he stayed dead for like, what, 15 years?
Until Final Crisis.
Until Final Crisis, where it actually made an effect, because he came back and everyone went, what the hell, he's actually been gone for however long in real time, not just, it's been 15 years and he's back. You know what I mean? Like, if you're at least gonna kill a character, at least like make it for a reason.
I don't even care if it's Nightwing so long as it's good.
Yes, give them a good death. At least give them a Spartan, a warrior's death.
Because when you're reading the Batman issue where he does actually get shot, the entire time I was just like, are they really going to give us another fake out death after faking him out before Agents of Spiral? Just like, if you're going to kill him, just like follow through, even if it is just like for 10 years till you figure out what you want to do with the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
At least make him a martyr the way Barry Allen was, to the point where a lot of fans are kind of like, you know what, I think Barry Allen actually does work better as a dead martyr for Wally to be fueled into becoming Flash and becoming, in my opinion, a better Flash.
Like that's one of those things where I think it's like that thing of, I enjoy the original, but also the remix was pretty good as well. Yeah. You know, like, it's not one of those things that I'm one of those people that, fuck that, no, give me the original. I'm like, here, give the thing a chance. And as we saw, it came out really well. And he's obviously not Barry, but that's why we like him. Because, like, to be fair, like, I know, like, their personalities are quite similar, but there's that enough of a difference where you turn around and you listen, you read one speak. Like, I have two separate voices for like, regardless of if they're in the Flash suits at the same time, I have different voices for when I read them in my own head, because like one of them is very much.
They are different people.
No, but like as in, you know what I mean. But like in terms of like, because you know some people, like, especially if they've similar personalities, they think of them very similar, and they're wearing the same suit or a very similar looking suit. They might go, okay, this is my train of thought. If this is the Flash.
Yeah, you know it's kind of like when Dick was Batman for a while.
Yeah.
They illicitly said that he was trying to kind of do a Bruce impression for a while until he kind of like filled the boots himself.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
but
at least make it interesting.
Exactly, do a spin on it. But the thing is, where I think it's going to go is because the whole thing in Doomsday Clock is Dr. Manhattan's been kind of like moving like micro parts of like of events and trying to like beat around the bush and not spoil it.
Yeah.
He's like moving small things and creates a butterfly effect, like a ripple effect, to make sure certain things don't happen. I feel like he's just gonna like do a Thanos snap and it'll just like go back to the way things were.
To be fair, the way
which wouldn't be
bad.
thing.
The way I describe it to someone would be it's like Flashpoint but with less chaos. In terms of the actually either going into it or going out of it.
I still think a lot of stuff's going to be there, though. I think that Dick is going to get his memories back.
Yeah, true that.
Like I think the way he gets it back is there was an entire arc where like there was an AI trying to steal his memories. So what if there's a backlog of his memories and the Bat family like?
Oh my god! You know,
like, I can imagine Damien being like, "Grayson, I missed you," and just like trying to plug his memories back in. Like, get it back, back in, put it back,
pretty much like trying to USB his like his skull in. Like that would actually be the most fucked up thing if his entire memory was just like a 5 gig like SD card, just like.
It's just like
oh my god!
I told you he was the stupid Robin, only 5 gigs.
It turns out that he's like 2.5. I was like, god damn, I should have kept my mouth shut. I was like, they don't even make 2.5.
Oh god, could you imagine they gave him the wrong memory?
Oh god, like all of a sudden he comes back and he's like, thanks for that guys. Like, you seem a lot more somber. I'm Jason, right? Oh fuck.
Well, I was thinking something a little bit more dark. You mentioned the Cosby Show earlier.
Oh god.
Take a sip of this drink, Barbara.
Jesus Christ. Imagine that if Bill Cosby was like a quarter of his age and was training martial arts and spoke 6 different languages.
With all the winging and the dinging.
Oh. Bill Cosby, if you're out there, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. You can't say that, but he's a horrible person.
Yeah, he's not a very good human.
Fun fact. I used to do stand-up. I can't anymore.
Because of him.
I made apparently an in poor taste Bill Cosby joke, and now I can't go back to that same club anymore. And God forbid I take the piss out of a rapist, but like...
Yeah, you know. Rapists have feelings too.
Yeah.
Apparently, even though they're a piece of shit scumbag.
But anyways, yeah, I think where it's going to go is Dick will get his memories back by USB.
By USB. Either that or it's going to be like the old, like, they're going really old school and it's like the way they, like, in like 2006 they used to share, I knew you were going to do that. The way you used to share music, like, you know what Sony Ericsson's when like Bluetooth was first a thing?
Yeah.
When people would share music through Bluetooth, it's just like, wait, let me connect to Grayson.
No, he's like using fucking an even deeper cut. Sorry, Gen Z. But yeah.
You're going to say the dial-up, aren't you? Just
no, actually, no. I was going to say infrared, but now, just to be a dick.
I'm going to say it.
No, but like...
Some shit like that where it's just like...
It's just like... it's like... Grayson holds still for like approximately 20 minutes. Is it supposed to do anything? No. Yes, maybe.
It's just like, my arm's cramping. Why couldn't everything be easier?
She's like, get it back in. And Barbara's like, Damien, wait. You're doing it the wrong way around. That
would be the number one thing. Is like a whole issue would just be like, why is the work? Damien, you're fucking. It's like,
and like Rick's just there like, I don't want my memories back. I was so much happier without you fucks.
To be fair, it's like, how can you say that? I never once, while I've been Rick, had someone try to force a USB in my skull.
You're aiming for a skull. It's supposed to go... Never.
It's supposed to go for his old name. It's supposed... What?
You know, ever seen a catheter?
Oh, Jesus. Bad memories. Bad touch.
It's like, then Barbara will get the new identity, Catheter Woman.
Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
There's a whole different wedding predicament then.
Oh, God. Every wedding photo is basically...
It's like Babs. You left me at the altar. I didn't leave you at the altar. Selena left Bruce at the altar. You did leave me at the altar. No, I didn't. I ran away because he tried to stick something up my cooch.
Wow, we're getting some real staff vibes right now.
If we had... One day we will tell you the in-joke.
We will
how
tell
got
you the
name.
story of why it's not today.
Today is just too much information for that sort of
Yeah,
shit.
to be fair, it is really a thing where we could have started with that, but that would be giving the game away too early.
You had to be there.
Yeah, there is 3 people who know about this. 2 of them are in front of you, and the other is somewhere in the universe. Not very far from where we are, to be fair. Probably like a 15-minute bus. About that, yeah.
17, 20.
Yeah, about that.
But
They're not that far away, and they know who they are.
yeah, and we love you dearly.
Very
But so yeah, then where I would ideally like it to go, considering the most recent Batgirl arcs, I don't know if you're up to date. I mean, I'm a little bit behind, mind you.
Yeah.
But the last thing that I read, Babs is dealing with her implant.
Yeah, I've
actually
heard about
acting
that.
up. So I was thinking, fuck, are they putting her back in the chair? I want her back in the chair.
It's one of those things where I could easily imagine it happening.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I'm kind of like, would they? Would they?
I think enough people want Stephanie Brown or Cass especially to do
Yeah,
that.
I think it's one of those things where all the major fanboys of the Batgirls want Stephanie back because just she was hot. I think that bar that she is an interesting character, but it's also a thing of every
You're a misogynist.
no, but
Dislike.
hey, it's not me saying it. It's just I know a bunch of people who
You're
said it.
speaking on behalf of other dickheads.
Yeah, I am a dickhead, but I'm just not saying I'm this breed of dickhead.
Yeah. But you see, the thing is, I do think that they should give it to Cassandra on the grounds that it is pretty fucked up that she's still going by orphan when it's hey, my father was abusive. Let's take his name.
Yeah.
Now, I know what they were going for. They were going for the whole let's make some good come from this name. Yeah.
But it is still pretty fucking.
Right.
I had something there, but even though I think that's a bit too bad. But it's one of those things of just if that was if you read that something like that in the news, you'd be turning around and going, "There's something really wrong with that girl in so many ways." There is, but you wouldn't it wouldn't be one of those things where if that was an actual human being, you wouldn't be like, "Oh yeah, it's just a character thing. It's not a big deal." You'd be here going, Get her help, please. Get her help.
We really are more chipper since we've eaten.
Yes, we really are.
You probably noticed there was a few cuts. We went to Nam.
Yeah, we had food, and it's also a thing where we have more impulse control because we have about 600 jokes I'd say in the last 3 seconds, and we haven't said one of them.
Exactly.
Probably the only slip we had was Bill Cosby, and that's pretty.
That's because you ruined my life too.
Jesus Christ. We were so goddamn close.
I am not comparing myself to the victims of Mr. Cosby.
Not a chance.
Although I did give you a drink before we started.
Jesus Christ. I'm not even going to play along with that one because that's YouTube's going to be strike these motherfuckers down.
Yeah. Bipping and the bopping out of here.
Let's put it as this. YouTube's going to be glad not to give us money, so we're going to need a Patreon, my dude.
When Graham got a YouTube strike, he made a face like this.
When Patreon, he's like, hell yeah! Give me that clout. Sorry, that's another. We'll explain all the inside.
That again is for someone who can't be with us right now.
Yeah.
But
word out to the homie.
Yeah. Our Watford homies.
My Watford fam.
Yeah. But
you know who you are.
Where was I even going? Oh yeah, so Babs.
Babs with the chair. Yeah.
So
Fuck's sake.
See, the thing is, I think they should give Cassandra the mantle, not because of the father stuff, because a lot of people want it. There's a big cult following for Cassandra Cain's Batgirl books. I'm one of them, to be honest. I love that book to bits.
I still don't know. Obviously, I know just people enjoy her as a character, but I don't remember when it became a thing. It was just. I remember just one day it was yes.
It was shortly before. It was No Man's Land.
When did it happen?
It was literally No Man's Land.
Right.
Her introduction was
just
in the cusp of No Man's Land.
Yeah. Oh no, but I mean in terms of the amount of cult following there is for her as Batgirl.
I mean, I suppose it would be in and around the time the trade paperbacks came out, but I'd also kind of hazard a guess it was in around the time when Tomasi, bless his soul, I freaking love Peter J. Tomasi, but he did a bad with Batgirl. He basically turned Cassandra sort of evil for no freaking reason and undid any goddamn development she had, and the vocal minority were like, what the fuck did you just do? It was kind of like
Stop
the
it!
equivalent of like, I'm gonna confiscate that, I swear. No, I'm kidding.
No,
But,
it's like, for some reason I can imagine someone watching this as being like, does Tomasi live like a floor above you or something like that? I'm like, God, fuck you, Tomasi!
if Tomasi lived in my house, there'd probably be a problem because I'm that obsessed with his work, people would think I keep him here in this show.
Yeah, it'd be like some like bullshit of that Simpsons episode where Bart has a twin and he lives in the attic. It's like, what?
He's just like tied to the stool. They're like,
stop ruining the things I love and I'll let you go.
But the thing is, they made her evil for no reason, and it undid a lot of work, and the vocal minority of fans were just like, no, what the fuck did you just do? It was kind of like when Nightwing became Renegade for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Although I personally thought that was
Interesting.
It was interesting. It was okay. It would have worked better for Elseworld, which is why New Order is really good. Read it. I mean, I think that's kind of people like, who are they giving out about? What's the big deal? And they go back and read all this. So that's a good thing about comics is that it's such a generational gap in between stories, and yet everyone somehow kind of knows them. You know, even if it's just from watching some of the Nolan movies and being like, oh, this relates into No Man's Land and this relates into a story called Nightfall. Okay, I'm going to read those. I quite like Dark Knight Rises, all three of you.
That's like, I think films, it's great to see things unfurl in front of you as like as someone who's like you've read everything there is to do with Batman. I think it's great to see it in terms of like, oh, this is just a moving real life image of what I've always seen. But it's also great for those people who are like, oh, I've never been into comics, I've never done this, I've never done that. Then they watch like the Nolanverse or they watch whatever's your cup of tea.
It makes it way more accessible.
Straight up, like I'd say the amount of people that like say for like Shazam, the amount of people who went from going, what the fuck is a Shazam to, oh my god, he's the greatest hero ever, and da-da-da-da-da. Or
Shazam, I use that in the gym when like a song comes on.
yeah, that was actually a YouTube video the other day.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Zachary Levi sitting there trying to guess songs before Shazam could. It was
You need
really
to link me that.
yeah. I think the only bad thing about it is the Fine Bros video. So like it's a good video, but I'm like the people who made it. I'm kind of like, eh.
Honestly, I'm not. I mean, I kind of like Fine
No,
Bros,
I like them. It's just like trying
the
to
reaction stuff's pretty fun.
Yeah, reaction stuff is pretty fun, but I mean, it's more so the fact that they were like trying to like get people done because they wanted to copyright the word reaction. I'm kind of like, lads, do you not have enough money? Do you not have enough clout?
that's
like that's pretty bad. Like that's like Candy Crush trying to copyright the word saga for video games.
Or
Like, are you for real?
or like PUBG trying to like get a lawsuit with
Fortnite over Battle Royale when Battle Royale was a fucking film made 20 years earlier.
And they ended up using Fortnite's engine instead of his own.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, lads, you are in no position to talk shit.
It's like, here, I fucking hate Fortnite. But that legal battle was ridiculous. But anyway,
It's so funny.
Besides all that, go with Babs. Can't forget about Babs, my love.
We never forget about Babs.
But anyways, no, seriously though, she, I do think she's going back in the chair, and I think she should, because over the past couple of years that Batgirl has gained a really big following all over again. The stories have been low-key about how she kind of sucks at her job on the field.
Yeah, to be fair, that's always been in some way in it. Like, and it's really kind of messed up when you think about the fact that if you go by like their beginnings, she should be the one who would be most able to do it. Like, you know, like I know it's not like a thing of like you're not your parents, you're yourself, but it's like you'd think with having like a police commissioner as a father, she would get like
honestly, it's
the little things.
The criminology stuff. She is like the detective Batgirl, I think. Like she can piece things together like that because of her memory and because like, she has a certain set of skills.
But you know, I mean, like, just in terms of like you think Jim would have brought her out to, you know, to a field or something like that, and you know, got like maybe try like, hey, do you want to get into like athletics or something like that? When it's like that's the physical shit, it's like.
See, that's the thing. She has and she's tried, and that's the point of the book. Is like she keeps getting her ass handed to her. Granted, she keeps getting back up.
Yeah, that's
except for that one time in Killing Joke.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, you can't say it too soon.
It's not even about being too soon. It's just I didn't expect it, which is very rare.
Yeah, but anyways.
But yeah, I won't be surprised she goes back.
It's like she's done all these martial arts. She does know MMA now, thanks to like the Larson books, which are great. I recommend them. I love them to pieces. I've never been so nervous for like a book to change writers because I was enjoying it so much, and I didn't think I would. I honestly didn't think I would because like when you leave the Gail Simone run and go into Burnside, which I didn't really like. like fair fucks if you do, but like I didn't. But like going from like Gail Simone to Burnside was kind of like
a weird one.
Yeah, because like Gail Simone writing Batgirl is some of like the best writing I've ever seen from DC, hands down. Like so, like I'd honestly put it up there with the likes of Sam Humphrey's Nightwing run recently. Like the recent books right before Jeff Johns left editorial were amazing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think putting Babs back in the chair is such an important thing because, I mean, think of how many kids are in wheelchairs reading comics. How many adults are in freaking wheelchairs
as a role model
reading comics, and they're just kind of like, holy shit, I could see myself doing this. I could see myself being this Oracle person, you know? And let's be real, she actually did far more useful stuff from a computer. She could ruin Blockbuster's life from her like chair on a computer in her PJs.
And it's also a thing where it's like, if you look at in general how like even other characters respond to her in the two specific roles, lots of times people would almost take the piss over when she was Batgirl because it's like, you're just not very good at this.
I'd say even during the Cassandra Cain run, when she has this augmented reality thing in like in the clock tower, and like Cassandra's like leveling up basically, and it gets to like the Batgirl level, and she's like, oh my god, yes, because like Cass is like, she sees Barbara as like the epitome of what human goodness is. Yeah. So she's kind of like, holy shit, oh god, and then she ends up doing the training exercise, and she like kicks the shit out of the AI, and she's like, bitch, you said I had a death wish.
Yeah, like that's like one of those things where it's just like, seriously.
So it's kind of like here.
When you're bleeding, like,
I'm probably
Squire kicked your ass.
It's like essentially. I'm gonna get like a lot of backlash probably saying, "Oh, this comment is sexist. She's an awesome Batgirl." Like, don't get me wrong, I love her as Batgirl. She's one of my favorite. She's probably like my joint first favorite character of all time. I'm not negating that.
She's just not very good physically.
I just think she's great as Oracle. Honestly, I think Cassandra needs a win as well. She's after losing her best friend recently. Yeah. So,
and it's also a thing where. Like as I was saying, it's like it's a thing where people sort of like not take her very seriously. But as soon as she went, like, it was a thing where she became Oracle. It became a thing where it was like, no, I can't like punch the face off you, but I could drop every single little bit of ordnance I have, which involves people like Batman, Nightwing, at some point fucking Superman. You know, like pretty much anyone who's under the sun.
Under the yellow sun.
Under the yellow sun. Who has anything to do with Batman or any sort of operation like that, they pretty much answer to her. Yeah. Like, she is like the full-on hive mind of the situation.
She was once described by Batsy himself as the Justice League's secret member. Like, you can probably look it up. It's a fairly easily accessible panel. It's somewhere. Google Images will probably have it. Yeah. Copyright strike them, DC.
Hey, Google's got more of your shit than we do.
Yeah. But it was like I think it was during the Grant Morrison run of Justice League at some stage where like I think it was Superman's asking Batman's like, who are you calling? It's like our secret member, and like Oracle's there at a like freaking computer wrecking shit. You know?
She's an awesome character in lots of ways, but it's just that she wasn't a Stephanie or anything like that, where it was like she was a scrapper. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or like she was specifically a what's the word I'm looking for? A expertised or a seasoned like combatant. Like, which isn't to say like that's not saying like
she knows boxing. In fact, if you're like, I can't plug the Gail Simone run enough. If you're looking at the Gail Simone run in the art, she's actually taking up boxer stances and everything just because like Jim would have boxed with the academy, and like what I took from that was, Jim taught her how to box, or Jim took her to self-defense classes when she was a kid, all that sort of stuff. You know?
Which just
it makes sense to me.
You could even say that, and it's just a thing of where it's not even that she's bad, she's just
not
at that point. Yeah, at that point she was just learning shit that works in a sport, but not when it's one person versus 6 dudes or 6 whoever, and it's like, you need to fend these people off. It's like, well, I only have 2 hands.
It's like, actually, perfect example, not to compare to a fucking scumbag, but it's kind of like the Conor McGregor fight with Mayweather. You're sending like someone who's never actually boxed before into a boxing match. Yeah. it's no wonder he gets a hiding.
Yeah, whereas if you brought them into an MMA cage, it's like a totally different story. Cause like, you know,
in the Larson run in Rebirth, she went to like MMA fights, and she went to, I think she was in Tokyo at the time, and she was learning mixed martial arts. There's some other plot that I won't go into because it is spoiler territory for anyone who hasn't caught up, and it's an amazing book that I would never want to ruin.
Spoiler's a great character.
Yeah, but like she starts trying to learn MMA, and she keeps getting her ass handed to her, but she keeps getting back up. So
she's resilient. That's the number one thing.
Much like Nightwing, she is the one who will keep getting up no matter how many times she gets the shit kicked out of her.
It's just a thing.
If anything, her resilience is even higher than Nightwing's in the grounds that she gets put in a chair. Cool, I still want a crime fight. I'm going to find a different way to do that. She's adaptive.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I think, bar anything, I think it should be seen as a thing of that, like, it shouldn't be seen as a thing of, Zexus, you know, like, she was great black girl. She's better as Oracle, more so to the fact that she's entirely focused on what makes her really good at her job.
Yeah.
Rather than being like, I'm doing half of that and then I'm doing this shit I'm not really good at. It's like, it might be a thing where, like, it might sound fucked up, but it's like, in terms of her ability to do things, it was better off her. Like, if she wanted to help people on a mass stand, then like, it was almost better for her, like, the way things did go.
Yeah, I mean, in her new costume as
story.
well, like in her brand new costume, in the, I don't know if Mairead Kelly's still on the book.
I'm not sure.
But she wrote a couple of arcs anyways, and she introduced, I don't know if she herself introduced it, but it was introduced in one of the issues that she wrote. When she got her new costume, she has this like flat backpack that presses kind of against her back under the cape that actually has her laptop. So they're taking the elements from the parts that made her really good as Oracle, and they're applying it to her as Batgirl.
Yeah.
You know, they're taking the whole, well, she's a techie. Stick a laptop in her bag so she can hack on the go.
Yeah.
Don't give her like a wrist computer, which is kind of, she had like some sort of like handheld computer during like the Larson run, which was fine, but it became very much like Doctor Who's, like, well, the Doctor's sonic screwdriver.
It just fixes every problem.
It's like, that door's locked. Hack it. Oh, your Chinese takeout's not on the way. Hack it.
Boopity boop boop. And that's it. It's done. Like
it's like, oh, you're bleeding. Hack it.
Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna hack your blood cells in order to clot faster or something like that.
Yeah,
like, no, that's not how
it's pretty
biology
much,
works.
honestly, it's pretty much the only hole that I will actually poke into like the Larson run in terms of, like, I wouldn't even say continuity. I'd just say in terms of I don't know, plot devices. It was like it was like a crutch.
Yeah, it was a real thing of, I don't know how to make it like a interesting way or another way to get out of it, so I just used the computer again, which is like fair enough. Like, if you're gonna have a thing for that, just try not to use it like
an over-reliance.
Yeah, like, you don't want to be having it where you've gotten into the sick situation and you're like, oh well, here she goes with the computer again, you know, like like, and the fact that it's like a thing where it's the computer is the thing that would be most used, is just like, why is she not Oracle then?
Yeah.
Because at least when she was Oracle, it was a thing where it's like, that makes complete sense.
Yeah, because I mean, they made it a whole thing that in her previous costume, like, a lot of her tech got like dinged up. Like, she, like, one of the Gail Simone villains came back and like dinged up all of her tech, and so now she actually has to carry around like a Toshiba.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, yeah,
or like a.
Just like a
netbook.
Yeah, like some fucking little tiny little thing. Just
yeah, yeah, and like, I'm just gonna say, it's gonna make it so much easier for cosplayers who want to cosplay back.
Oh yeah, they'll have a backpack, and then as well, like, it'll be one of those things of, say, if it's like us, where it's like, say, if we want to fucking record something, imagine being able to just sit there, you're there with your mates, and you've pretty much recorded everything you want, and then it's just like, I'm gonna start rendering this now. It's like, son of a bitch! Like, this is a great idea.
Case in point, when we went to get food, we're rendering half of this as we speak.
Yeah, that was an experience.
But speaking of cosplay, myself and Jake are really, really big into cosplay. Whenever we're at cons, if anyone from the Irish con scene is watching this, you probably know us somewhere there.
Yeah, somewhere whereabouts. It's either a thing where you'd probably know us for, like, you would be about 3 characters, for me it'd be about the same, 3 or 4. Probably closer to 3, because we usually go together.
Yeah.
And we 9 times out of 10 try to coordinate between 2 of us, because we're just like, hey, we're going to be around each other all day, like, it might be good, like, you know, to have some sort of running theme throughout them.
Troy McClure, you might know me from such programs.
Go fuck yourself.
But yeah, so we're massively into cosplay.
Just love it.
And so we just thought we'd take a moment to kind of discuss what Cosplans kind of have
Yeah,
going?
100%. Yeah. For me, it would be a thing where I did like a not like low budget, but it'd be like very casual Hellboy there last year.
And by that he means I tried to spirit gum the shaved down horns onto his head. They
And
fell
just-
off and we had to paint them on instead.
They just did like in general it was more so down to it being a pair of jeans, the right hand to doom, which we made out of cardboard, and was actually a shitload of fun to use.
We actually still have the remnants over here.
Yeah, we actually still have bits and pieces of it all over the place. Like that's
Oh yeah, look, this is the part where the fist was.
yeah, that's the part where the fist was cut out. But it was actually really great. I still have it at home, and I'm fully planning on like we're looking to make another one, more heavy duty though. But it's also a thing where I'm going here if we can't finish it in time, or it's just a thing where it just whatever reason. I'm gonna pull that bad boy out because it was very, very cool and it was very comfortable. As much as people, there was like one or two people who were like, "How's your hand holding up?" I was like, "Yeah, it's grand." Like because it was elastic
you feel
bands.
your fingertips.
Yeah, it was elastic bands and everything that was holding it in place and letting me move the hand, which was very cool, and I still love it. But so it's Hellboy, and we're planning on doing like a big upgrade to it and doing a bit more flash to it, and you know having a set of horns that
LEDs.
Yeah, LEDs and.
Make it all sparkly.
Make it all sparkly, some like LEDs, some like a tail, like a more significant tail.
Imagine using like sparkly red snazzy face paint instead of making you like
like senpai and unnotice me like Jesus. Not bad idea.
Hellboy Cullen.
Jesus Christ. Notice me, Hellboy.
Don't actually do that.
Don't do that, please.
They already ruined vampires. Let's not ruin
let's not ruin demons as well.
Yeah.
But bar that, another one that I want to do, and I've been told repeatedly by a shitload of people I need to do, is the new Young Justice Superboy. Because I pretty much own that leather jacket, and if I dyed my hair black, everyone thinks because now apparently Connor's got stubble, that apparently I'd be great for it, which I take that full on as a compliment. Which apparently since he came back, one or two people have told me apparently they just decided to stalk you for a week and made Connor look way more like you than normal, which I was like, I'll take that as a fucking compliment all day. But bar that, it would be the new Connor, do a new Hellboy, and then like to be fair, bits and pieces I want to do. Like I also want to do, as Graham mentioned, we've been in he's been DMing D&DC, which is our like tabletop Dungeons and Dragons, but D&D like
a DC themed D&D.
Yeah, pretty much. But I have wanted to for the last while to cosplay the first character I ever played in it, which is called Jax, who was actually a Kryptonian who was, if maybe on another episode I'll go into that stuff because content. But I really love to because like it's just a character I really loved playing, and also it's weirdly enough it was like the first character I ever made for a tabletop game, and it became like almost like a member of the family to our friend group. So like,
oh my god. So basically when we were playing the game, the character actually died. And I basically orchestrated the game that the main characters had to interact to a point where they kind of like really grew to like each other. Yeah. So when he died, people cried.
Oh, like it was bad. Like it was really bad, and it was because it wasn't expected as well. Like it was a thing where I actually wasn't. It wasn't like planned, or it wasn't like anything where it was like, oh, chances are he's gonna die. Everyone thought he was gonna be fine, but it was really funny because I went into it thinking he's gonna be fine too, and yet I said something, or more so, Jack said something that was very. He thinks it's goodbye. If you get what I mean, like more so, like just my monologue as a character went, I think this is goodbye, and then he ended up hitting the dirt, and I was like, oh well, shit. But no, it was like real messed up because, like, to be fair, I think everyone, bar two people in the group, have had a character die in them. Some was more recently than others. But another thing that I think really screwed with people is that this sadistic fucker, he made up this thing that's great but also horrible, that when a character dies they have a song that gets played as like their eulogy, near enough, death music. But it was like it wasn't like anything that was just like this triumphant music that you wouldn't recognise. They're all very recognisable songs.
Yeah, basically, long story short, Jake can't listen to Johnny Cash anymore.
I can listen to some Johnny Cash songs. but I can't listen to the song When the Man Comes Round.
Yeah,
because
I totally stole it from Logan for the purposes of the death scene. But basically, this character that he wants to cosplay ended up basically kind of being the poster boy of the game.
Yeah, weirdly enough.
So we're going to try and actually get a group together, see if we can actually get the people who played the game into cosplaying the characters that day.
Because we had me, Kryptonian, my girlfriend, she played an Amazon, who somehow the characters ended up together as well. I don't know how that happened. And then one of our other friends played an Atlantean magic user who was just funny as hell because he was just... He's one of those. He was one of those characters that, like, if you didn't see him in action, you missed out.
We had a lazy speedster.
Who we loved to bits because he was lazy. Because rather than just being like, I'm gonna make up some random ass name, like, yeah, mine has the same first two letters as my name, but this fucker just named the character himself. Not like as in,
that's not a bad thing,
which is not a bad thing. It's just like it's just really funny when these people are getting really into it and they're making their own personalities. And then it's just it's just your mate turns up, but he can run like 600 miles per hour. Then we have our other friend who played a human, who was like a mixture between like a mini Batman, James Bond, but also like Shaggy from Scooby Doo, because all she did was eat when she wasn't like preoccupied by something. Then we have another lad who, like one of our other friends, who's playing a half demon, which like he hasn't gotten to really be involved a lot, but he has.
We are so sorry.
We are so sorry because like he literally got into it as like we were coming to like our break near enough, but he was awesome when he was in it. And then we had who else did we have? Because that's pretty much, and like we had the original trio, Connor, Ashlyn. Like one of the speedsters, current girlfriend, played a half demon as well, I think it was. And she actually came in really clutch for like our last big fight because all the really low level people for some reason kicked a lot of ass.
And like they were all kind of still recovering, strangely enough, from his character's death. That like when he brought in a new character for that like big story, and people were just like, I don't like this guy.
Nah, because I pretty much Kylo Ren the shit out of people. And it was the funniest thing because I literally did my little moment of like shock value, and then I said the phrase, "That's not gonna fly," to which our human, who at one point became, 30 seconds before this happened, became a fucking Green Lantern, went, "Oh, the word fly, okay," and made a slingshot and shot my new character in space, to which literally, because he was an Amazon, survived. Barely. And I think I rolled a 1 on landing, which meant I landed with the full force of planet re-entry on my face, but I think it was actually a thing where she made a mattress so it didn't hurt as much.
Yeah, like we should try like for this get a game going maybe.
Yes. Tell us if you would be interested in like D&D but DC and with weird. It's pretty much if you don't know how it's gonna work out at first, it's pretty much gonna be like watching the first season of Critical Role where you're gonna be like, what the fuck is going on here? But you'll get it after a while. It's a fun group. Everyone in it is great crack, and as well, like the characters they're actually really well fleshed out, I think. But
on the topic of cosplay, big tangent.
Big tangent. But hey, we just gotta plug everything. To be fair.
I mean, we'll be leaving more plugs at the end, anyways. So.
Yeah, we're gonna be just so you're warned. We're gonna be plug once it comes to the end of this, and we're probably gonna give a shout out to everybody who we've half slag, half brought up in conversation, just to be fair. Especially the ones that we've slagged, because sorry lads.
But in any case, like I think I don't really. I mean, I have a lot of cos plans, but none that I can kind of do immediately. Because they're expensive. Because like my whole thing on cosplays, I'm a budget cosplayer. I like to make stuff from like shit that you would already have. Because like the whole point that I like to drive home is that a lot of people get intimidated by the price of stuff. Like they'll be seeing all these like really cool, well put together, screen accurate like Iron Man suits or Nightwing suits. Even on Wish, they're still like what?
Sauron, all this sort of shit.
Even on Wish, they're still like Nightwing costumes are still like £100.
Yeah, or like even those like the ones you see a lot, and like they're cool. Don't get me wrong, and anyway, but the ones you always see that it's like the printed on morph suits that are like Spider-Man suits.
Yeah,
they're like mad money, especially at the minute with Infinity War and everything being what it is, and Endgame being what it is. Anything to do with that is a lot of money. So
yeah, basically what I kind of do is I take stuff from Pennies because I keep getting vouchers for Christmas.
Yeah.
Not that I'm complaining because I keep getting cosplay shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I just kind of get plain clothes from Pennies that have like no print on it. I just paint the hell out of it, and it's kind of what I do for most of my Nightwing costumes. But for the next couple of cosplays that I'm doing, I kind of can't do that. So the cosplays that I actually kind of do have in mind are kind of more Star Wars related at the moment.
At the minute it's mostly Star Wars.
Because like, I lost a shit ton of weight.
No, I'm not gonna lie. A Stormtrooper like armor sounds like a fucking nightmare for me. Just because of how like restrictive it could be. Because it is massive plates. So it would be like walking around in more restrictive like plate armor. Like it's one of those things. If someone offered it to me, I'd be like, "Fuck yeah!" But at the same time,
you probably buy any of that shit and put it on a mannequin in your room. Let's be real.
Yeah, straight up, I would probably do that to hell, and I'd be totally happy with it.
My point was, I'm feeling like a little bit more confident about myself. There's this one very obscure Anakin cosplay costume, I should say, one of the, like a design from the old Clone Wars anime, where like he's doing his Jedi trials and he's got like a sort of a tribal sort of war paint on him, and he's pretty much topless for most of the episode. So I'm kind of like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna try my hand at that for a change. So that's pretty much the only thing I've kind of got going right now. I was gonna try my hand at Han Solo eventually, just because like, I mean, Solo is probably one of my favorite Star Wars movies right now. Yeah, it's definitely my second favorite right now.
Cause like, I still need to see it, but I've heard so much cool things about it. And as well, as you've probably guessed from earlier, we both love. Like childish, we both love everything that man does, and I've only seen clips of him in the film, and I've already been like, alright, he's already my favourite Star Wars character. Or he's my favourite interpretation of a Star Wars character.
Of Lando, yeah.
Of Lando, straight up, like, because I already like Lando, but I'm just like, Donald though. But him though.
Is it Donald though?
Is it Donald though? But like, it's one of those things of being pretty much like, well, like, this isn't a great example because we already have an actor who's playing it, but, like, for someone to turn around and say, do you know Idris Elba's going to be Geralt in the Witcher thing? I would, like, when I heard that as a possibility, I was like, fuck yeah, that'd actually be pretty cool. Or Viggo Mortensen.
Oh, Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen would be great.
Awesome, I just think the only reason he wouldn't go for it is, like, no, I don't want to be typecast as Aragorn.
I don't want to be typecast as Fantasyman.
Yeah.
Even though like he's like almost designed to do that, like because he's pretty much like Tolkien. If Tolkien wasn't a professor, but he just was like, I'm just gonna hit the gym all the time.
Yeah.
Because he's still a fucking tank. Straight.
But then as for DC cosplays, as it goes, I'm not really working on a whole lot. I was actually thinking of Robot Man from Doom Patrol.
Yeah, but just Robot Man's just Robot Man. You always love that motherfucker.
Yeah, I was gonna actually try and get like a cheap voice modulator from like from a kid's toy and then put it on the inside of the mask. So then
that would be pretty cool.
There's a whole thing in the DC streaming service show where he can't stop saying the word fuck.
Yeah.
So it's just like
if you know me, Robot Man is pretty much me but with an iron head instead of
basically
an iron head. More less like in terms of comparing to Iron and more literally Iron. But no, great character. Very, very funny. Honestly. If at some point we don't get an interpretation of him where he's Irish, I'll be disappointed. Because we're the only nation on the fucking planet who can use that word that much and get out of it with it.
Robot Man with a fada.
It's like the most...
Fiar robots.
Fiar roboti. Oh god, there's gonna be someone who loves Irish. They're like, wow, you really don't know your Irish. It's like, no. I haven't had to deal with that for 4 years, so fuck you.
Yeah, exactly, never again.
But
it's like, for Irish people, we're really not that patriotic.
Well, like
in terms of the stereotype.
In terms of the stereotype, I'm probably like, out of everyone we know, I'm probably like the most stereotypically patriotic. Whereas, like, I don't watch I don't do any of that shit.
As for me, I may as well not be Irish.
He doesn't, like, that's the thing as well, like, you listen to the pair of us and you go, yes, he's definitely at least from somewhere in Dublin, whereas you could be from anywhere. Like, you have a very neutral accent, so it's like, to be fair, it could be a thing where an American's watching this and going, like, yeah, you sound particularly goddamn
don't
Irish.
insult me.
Yeah, don't insult me, but at the same time, they could be like, I could tell you're Irish or something like that, but then again, Irish people don't think he has an accent. So.
No. Normally.
But like in terms of cosplays, in terms of DC cosplay, it would be Connor and the Jax, but technically that's not a DC character. Well,
yes, it is.
if DC want to jump onto me and talk about it,
don't say that. They'll steal the idea for free.
Hey, they don't. All they have is a name.
I mean, Didio's still looking for ideas.
That's true.
He doesn't really have any of his own. Oh!
Boom. But yeah, bar that, I was thinking about doing a Lobster Johnson cosplay. Just for the crack.
Just because?
Just cause I like the character and I do like pulp characters. Like, you know, we're into comics and that's pretty much like modern pulp fiction at the minute. Not as in the film, but in terms of say what, motherfucker. but no, like in terms bar that, there's like little things here and there that I might do, but like there's nothing I'm super invested in bar like those 2 or 3.
Yeah, I mean, any of the cos plans that I kind of had in mind, I sort of did. Like, I went on a streak this year, not literally, because then I would have been arrested. But
quick enough.
But I basically made a Grayson bat cosplay. You'll find that not only am I a budget cosplayer, I can only seem to cosplay one person.
Yeah, 1 or 2. Well, there's 2 people. Like, one would be Dick, and the other one would be the person that it's one of those things of you just have it's him. It just is him. And I'm gonna let him say it because you're about to receive a lesson on how to say a DC character's name.
Constantine.
There you go.
It's time! It's time! Get it right, CW! Get it right!
It's a deep-seated issue. But yes, it's not teen. It's well in our eyes, it's not teen because it's not specifically anything French. So it's time. Even says himself in multiple things. It's time, but
yeah.
Like if it's and also it's a thing where I could easily imagine someone watching this going, I do recognize him, but I don't know what.
I was passing around fake cigs.
Yeah, we went around last year at DCC, Hellboy, Constantine, and I was just doing my best Ron Perlman impression, and he was handing out fake cigarettes to people when they asked for photos.
Yeah,
which was fucking funny.
They'd ask for photos, I put like the fake cig in my mouth and just be like, I never smoke alone, come here. Yeah.
which was great crack because we actually also had a friend who is in the D&DC game. He went as the Punisher. Which the 3 of us, like, it was really funny as well because people were like, oh my god, the Punisher as well. They still treat him as like separate from the 2 of us because
but
we
I
were both.
Respect you.
Yeah, I respect you. But it was a thing because we were both supernatural characters. I think they were just like, oh, they must be roaming around together, which was right.
Yeah. We over coordinate.
Yeah, we over coordinate a little bit.
We're not even sorry. We're not even apologizing.
No, because most years it would be like there'll be some mixture of I'll do Red Hood, Jason Todd. He'll do Nightwing. I'll do Connor. He'll do Nightwing again. Pretty much it's a thing of I make the DC character.
There was a time where I did Robin, but it was Dick.
Yeah, it was still Dick. So regardless of what it is, it's not Constantine. It's probably Dick Grayson. But whereas for me it's a thing of just if I want to do it, I'll just do it. Like I'm just if I like it's not gonna be a thing where I know nothing about like say Watchmen. Like I know nothing about Mr. Manhattan. I'm not gonna pull up Mr. Manhattan.
Mr. Manhattan, huh?
Dr. Manhattan, sorry. My brain, it's been a long day. Shut the fuck up.
Well, I didn't say anything.
Shut up. But like, I'm not going to turn up as Dr. Manhattan if I know next to nothing about Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Purely out of, I'm not going to have that moment of, oh my god, you love Watchmen. It's like, I watched the film. Or something like that, you know. Like, I do know, probably more than anyone, I know most of my shit about Rorschach.
Yeah.
Just because he's the main character who interests me. Actually, that's another one. Rorschach, yes. The man himself. Yeah, that's actually another cosplay I want to do, but I haven't been able to find a decent looking mask. I haven't been able to find a decent looking mask, or figure out how to make one of those ones where it's like you have the cold ink or something like on the inside, and when you breathe it moves like that shit. Like I'd love to have.
You get them on Wish for a $5 now.
Yeah, but like I've never gone around. Like I don't want to be a thing where I have this one thing and then be like, oh well, I don't have a trench coat, or I don't have the hat, or I don't have this, or I don't have that.
Actually, I saw this really cool cosplayer on Instagram. Actually, you know what? Oh, shit,
Instagram shout out.
No, seriously, there is this one guy. He has a very very cool Rorschach cosplay. He didn't actually do it with a trench coat. and you know, I'll show it to you later, and
Yeah.
I'll link him down below. Because like he's actually he is like he carries himself off really well as Rorschach. I think the guy's only like 17 or 18 or something like that.
Fair folks.
I think it was like his first cosplay, and I was even just looking at the mask.
Going,
like
wow. Fair folks. That's another thing as well. I think we both love it. It's just like. Because what was your man's name? He's from Northern Ireland, and he does all the
John Hay.
John Hay, because we both follow him. Brilliant. Like, god damn, this guy's so good. Because like he is quite like us, where he's not like spending a ton of money. Like I think the most I've seen him spend it on was like web shooters, because he does a lot of Spider-Man.
He takes cardboard and some fabric and then turns it into fucking art.
Yeah, he turns it into basically like I've watched a video where for like 10 minutes he worked on. I think it was like cardboard and fabric, and he turned it into a Scarlet Spider costume, and you're like, what? How? Like, it's one of those things, if you just started it and you just were like, I just want to see the costume when it's finished, you literally see a pile of cardboard and fabric magically transform into like a fantastic cosplay, and it's like, holy halibut, like he's a really nice dude. Like,
oh yeah, totally.
Really sound dude. But in terms of cosplays, I think that's really everything. Like it's one of those things of we're both like, we just do it for the crack, whereas like both of our girlfriends, they do it like religiously, like not in a bad way, but like straight up like we look good, and they're just like, god damn it. It's like seeing like the Red Sox play like, I don't know, England in like baseball. It's like, no, stop it, please. But like it is really cool though. It is really cool.
Absolutely. The last topic of cosplay at DCC this year, we will be there. And for at least one of the days will be Nightwing and Superboy. The reason for this is that there is a Young Justice / DC cosplay meetup being organised by a cosplayer named Captain Diffley.
Yes.
We'll link you to Instagram later, and just get into contact, and like there's a whole Facebook group for it now. Come say hi and take some sweet ass pictures. And
and everyone, if it's a thing of you're a bit like, oh well, I've never gone to one before, it is literally a bunch of people who are into the exact same stuff as you and I are, and both of us are.
I mean, I'll be taking pictures, but we need photographers as well, even if you're just interested in coming around, taking a look, grabbing some pictures. And if you haven't even been to a con before, it'll be a great way to actually talk to cosplayers if you're kind of thinking, hey, this is something that I might get into. Honestly, it's
sure. That's what we first did when we were first because like Graham started cosplaying before I did. But his first piece of advice is just talk to people who cosplay, like I used to.
Like literally, just have any sort of conversation with any cosplayer. They'll be able to give you a different piece of advice. Take the correlating advice and apply it to yourself, or not. We're not your mom.
Yeah, here we can say whatever. Just go on, do what you do, and have a laugh. And that's the main thing. What it is like, and just don't be surprised if you come in wearing a cosplay and someone with an associated cosplay comes up to you and is like, oh, holy shit, because that'll happen all the goddamn time. And it's so much fun.
And here, like, the stuff that we were saying even about body image earlier on, that doesn't even need to be taken to heart. That's just something that I personally do because I used to be very self-deprecating.
Yeah, and it's also just a thing of, like, for me, it's just a thing of, I'll wear whatever the fuck I want. Like, I'll dress up as Mr. Fantastic, even though it makes zero sense. But like it's just a thing.
You can stretch it.
Yeah, well, that's a different kind of stretching, and we don't need to go there. But hey, but in terms of, I just know it's a fact. Like I am a big dude, like big shoulders and all that, so it just looks good if I play bigger characters. But it's also a thing where if I want to play some skinny guy, I'm going to make him the skinny guy, but he's meaty as hell. Like so it's just more so whatever you want to do. Like just I know what makes me look good, which is most things. But yeah, like honestly, it's a thing of if you want to dress up as something, fire the hell away. Because if anyone says that to you, just tell them to go piss off.
Or let us know. We'll slash your tires.
Well, he'll slash their tires. I'll just call them a prick to their face. Like I don't know.
But I'll slash their tires, so my job's more important. Anyway, so
we're going to prison. Well, actually, you're going to prison.
I'm going to prison. You're fine.
I'm going to hell.
Speaking of hell, we're going to go into our character highlights.
Yeah.
And I mean, here I kind of went on to talk about Babs for a long ass time, so I pretty much covered mine. I was going to talk about Damien, but sure, I can go into that if we have time. But I think one of the main things to go into this week specifically is here. You know what? I'll let you take it away, just considering you idolize the character on some level.
Well, see, this is the thing. Anyone who knows me, they'll know probably what character because they've probably seen it in the background or they've seen it on the table. But a character who's having a really big moment at the minute or is really a big conclusion at the minute, is actually Hellboy, which is a character I've loved for a long ass time. And for anyone who doesn't realise, or they're like a casual fan, or they love the Guillermo del Toro film, or they watch the new film and they're kind of like, hey, I heard this is really accurate to the comics. I liked it, I didn't like it, whatever, I want to find out what the comics are like. You're actually to the party a bit late, as in the newest issue of BPRD, The Devil You Know, is actually the conclusion for the whole Mignola-verse, which is obviously Mike Mignola, the man who made Hellboy and surrounding comics and everything. This is actually the conclusion of it. Like, it's the wrap-up of everything to do with Hellboy and everything, really. Like, this is it, which is a really weird sensation when it's a thing of Batman and Superman are like 75 years old and they're still going strong. Hellboy is like only 3 years older than us as humans. And it's already come to an end. And it's just very odd because he's one of those characters that I think is both synonymous with comics, but also pop culture, but it's also not very well known. Like, I always get asked, like, we'll probably show pictures on the video at the point I'm talking, because I actually have 2 Hellboy tattoos, which should show, yes, I'm a bit of a rabbit fan. And you could probably tell from what's in front of me and in some of the shots behind us, there is the library editions, which I own and I adore, and I'm probably going to be skimming through witches at some point. These are lovely, lovely. If you love Hellboy, or you at least enjoy reading Hellboy comics, and you love big volumes that like smell like new books, you really need to get these things, because they're really beautiful and they're lovely.
They smell amazing. And
they smell fantastic. They're really fantastic, and they're really lovely.
Don't lie, you like book smell.
Yeah, everybody who's a comic book fan or reads loves the smell of a new book. If you're saying that you don't right now, you're lying. Go find your favourite book and sniff the shit out of it. But honestly, it's a thing where, not in that way, but it's one of those things that's really weird, because like we're even saying ourselves, like for like Batman and everything, it's like it's always, there's never going to be a Batman, there's never not going to be a time where there's not a Batman on the shelves, whereas, but in terms of when this was in its, Hellboy was at its peak, there was like a point where like, The Island, which is a story that is actually in...
This one here?
This one here. Yeah. I think it's in this one here. Yes, it is. It's in the omnibus. If you're reading the omnibus, it's called Strange Places. It actually took him, I think, was like 2 years to get out 2 issues, because the creator Mike Mignola actually had a bunch of confidence issues, because this was around the same time the Hellboy films were coming out, the original ones, with Guillermo del Toro, as we literally a problem with Predator. But it is really odd as well, because anyone who's starting to get into him now, you've 25 years of comics of just the Hellboy name alone. Then you have BPRD, which I literally brought up, which is how they're ending it, because I'm not going to do any spoilers, but like The Devil You Know, and it's a whole thing with like relating to the devils they know, and it's just really odd, because like I know I've said it already, but like it's, if you like satisfying stories that are like comic book stories and have a lot of monsters and things like that, you're gonna love the shit out of Hellboy, because they like Mike is precious with him, almost the way Stan Lee is precious with Spider-Man, but he's not scared to let him go. Like, he's scared to let him go, but it's like, the way he describes it's almost like letting a kid go to school for the first time. It's like you're letting them go, but you know they're like still around. Yeah. Whereas, you know, it's a thing where like after this, he's pretty much said that as far as he is concerned, it's over. Because like when it comes to, like you can see back here, Hellboy in Hell, when this was actually coming out, they were actually planning it to be the finale. Years, and like it would be like the finale, but it would be a thing where it's like they would be doing this for years, and they would go back to the point where it was like the first couple of Hellboy short stories and things where they would just ramble around and tell stories, which if you like a good ramble and a short story, Hellboy's a great character.
It's very much like folklore.
It is, because Mike Mignola is a massive fan of all folklore. If you're Irish and you're looking for stories that relate to Ireland, he seems to adore Ireland, because not only is there like 1 or 2 short stories that are in Ireland, but one of them is like the most famous short story there is of Hellboy, which is actually in this, which is actually, surprisingly enough, not on the cover in name, but it's actually the cover art is actually the story, which is The Corpse, which is actually based off an Irish story of, I can't remember the dude's name, but it's very stereotypically what an American would think an Irish name is, which is an actual Irish name, and The Corpse. If you look it up, you'll find it. but it is a fantastic story, and it's known as the best Hellboy story because one, paced fantastically, the page layout was fantastic, the art style is amazing. If you've never seen a Mignola drawn book, you're doing yourself a disservice because like Mignola is
actually here. Even do you have your bag there?
yeah. Here, 1 second.
Because like even if you're not necessarily into the whole like demonic stuff, you will be able to appreciate Mignola's work on something that you probably would know. This is Gotham by Gaslight, which I'm lending Jake for the next like couple of days. Really.
Yeah.
Because like you'll go through that in a night.
Yeah, I've piled through the library editions in a night.
So here, if you're kind of like hesitant to even kind of try the books, dip your toe in the water with some of his Batman books. He has 2 of them as far as I know.
Yeah, so there's Gotham by Gaslight, which is actually the first Elseworld story, and is mostly about a Victorian would be the word. Yeah, so excuse me, would be the time era, and it has a lot to do with Jack the Ripper and Batman, and it is really fantastic. And
it's like think Sherlock Holmes, but replace Sherlock with Batman. And that's what you have.
And then the
like Jim Gordon is like Lestrade. The list goes on.
And like
awesome.
it's very, very cool. It's the template of what Elseworlds stories should be like. Then the other one we have is a book that I actually own as well, unsurprisingly, as I'm a massive Mignola fanboy. Is actually called The Doom That Came to Gotham, which is entirely like he wanted to write a book that was like Eldritch horror and all the things he really liked, but it is in a Batman stratosphere. And it's really interesting. It's very much, if you've ever read Call of Cthulhu or anything like that, and you enjoy Batman, you're getting a double helping, and it's really great. In terms of Hellboy, it's still crazy to me because like I've loved this character, I have him on my body and everything, and I'm still going, it's not over. It really can't be over, but it is. But like obviously Mignola has other titles I'm going to jump into when I get a chance, like Crimson Lotus, Black Hammer. He has a couple of spin-off stories from other characters. Like if any is are like Guillermo del Toro and you love yourself some Fishman action, there's an Ape Sapien book as well, which is actually really good. I've only started reading recently, and it is very, very good. But
does it get an A plus?
It gets an A plus. Yeah, it's really good. I haven't even gotten to read all of it. I've only gotten to read bits and pieces of it, but it is very, very good. It's very if you see Abe as the Guillermo del Toro version, where he's just kind of like, I'm a nerd and I don't really do things, this will change your entire perception of what the character's like, because he is a bit of a beast in it. But in terms of like just the actual like, because if you wouldn't know for a fact that like most writers, they think of an idea and they're like, I can sell this, like Stan Lee saw a spider or saw a fly in his office and came up with the idea of Spider-Man. But yeah, in terms of Mignola, he pretty much said when he was probably about our age in art college, he just wanted a job where he could draw monsters for a living and make money, which is pretty fucking cool idea. He ended
like
up
a Todd McFarlane sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Spawn.
Like with Spawn, exactly. Like, but this is the thing of even before he was in comics, he was thinking this. But he ended up actually just drawing a picture, and you could probably find it if you look up Hellboy First Drawn. There is this picture of a wildly different creature with like fish hanging off its belt, and it's very scraggly looking sort of creature. And he just wrote Hellboy on the belt of it just because he thought it was funny. And so when he was coming around to making his own book, like with Dark Horse, which if you wouldn't realise because they're not Marvel or DC, is actually a creator first company. So mostly, but like in the case of Mignola, they have complete control over their stuff. Like obviously they get a portion of profits, but it's also a thing where it's the cool, like it's an advantage of not being, say, with like DC, where it's like we have certain rules and we have things characters won't do. Whereas if you walk into Dark Horse, they're like, hey, this is your kid, you do what you want with him. If you want him to shoot somebody, fire away. If not, that's your business. But he ended up making the name Hellboy because he thought it was funny, and he thought no one would take it seriously, and he thought, fuck it, if it flops, it flops, and I've got something at least I can laugh about in a couple of years. But for some reason, the weird little creature that could became 3 multi-million-dollar films and one of the longest single name comics I think in existence that isn't like either Action Comics, spectacular, like any of the, where any of the original characters were made. But it is also, if it's a thing where you need, like, you've seen some of the films, you're like, I don't know if I want to read the comics. Suggestions, especially since it's going to be a thing where it's going to be over soon and you'll miss the train slightly. Read The Corpse. Read if you're in any way a fan of Sin City, read Seed of Destruction, because John Byrne, who actually did like some amazing work on X-Men, he actually does the first one a bit like the Dark Knight Returns, or the way Frank's inner monologue is in Sin City. It's very much like you can see the inner workings of a writer like that, because it's in his inner monologue he's talking about how pain feels, how it feels to get hit by something, how much stronger his opponent is. Like, you will literally find these exact lines in Seed of Destruction. But it'll be The Corpse, I'd say, read Seed of Destruction. I'd say the main Hellboy story you could probably read through and be perfectly happy with just that, but you get so much flavouring and so much extra stuff from the short stories, which this is a complete library edition. This one is just entirely short stories, which is, like, not all of them, it's most of them, or it's the most iconic ones. But
if you had to pick maybe just one story to get someone hooked
on it,
one that's kind of like unrelated, but would get
something that it's like it's in isolation, but it's a good example.
Even one of the short stories to give them a taste. Like, what would you recommend?
The Corpse, just because it'd be the best story, and then I would say in terms of a short story that, like, even in terms of getting another artist. In, you could say, I think it's a Midnight Circus, which is actually done by Duncan Fegredo, who actually draws The Wild Hunt, which is actually, if any of you seen the Hellboy film, which is currently getting slated by every reviewer from here to Nantucket, it's highly based off, and to be fair, I kind of believe the reason why it tanked was it was too committed to the comics. Stop!
Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. If you made it this far, I'm really sorry for what sort of mental state you might be in, and any mental scars that you may have endured watching this.
Sorry.
Can't sue us.
Yeah, they can't sue us. Yeah, they really can't sue us.
But yeah, we're going to try and make this a regular thing. If that's the kind of thing you want to see, let us know. And so before we finish up, I guess we're going to plug the shit out of ourselves. If you want us to stream the D&D campaigns, let us know. And speaking of streaming, I'm on Twitch as Spiral Agent 37. Occasionally this fuckhead's on with me as well, and it's basically just more of this, except we're playing games and not, talking to no one.
Yeah. Like, to be fair, it is a lot more fun. We do things like, we've done cocktail roulette a couple of times. Well, character roulette, but,
Character cocktail.
Character cocktail. It's a mixture of everything. It's a lot of fun. We just literally come up with hypotheticals for different franchises and shit.
Yeah,
like
we take a character, we put them in a different world, and then we try and make a really messed up...
Or funny, or sometimes sweet. Here, it depends on how much drink I've had and what kind of mood I'm in.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of fun.
Who knows, you don't got work till tomorrow evening, so we might end up doing it later.
Yes. And to be fair, bar that, just thanks to everybody who's watching, thanks to everybody who, might support us both on the videos and outside the videos, like we've mentioned friends and stuff like that, and girlfriends and all that kind of stuff, so thank all you for probably supporting this. I feel sorry if you have to support this.
We're going to leave links in the description as well, just in case you need to follow any of the social media networks in terms of the cosplay meetups and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, until then,
Stuff. See ya. Goodbye.